2, and 1. Hi, everybody! Wave, welcome. Thank you for coming, and also arriving here. Sorry, that's a very old, crude joke that I like doing. Anyway, welcome everybody to Revenge of the Gith. I'm gonna go ahead and give it away to Robert, the GM, to introduce himself and everyone else to go around and introduce themselves. Robert, take us away.
Hi, I'm Robert the GM. I'm gonna be GMing this session. I'm super excited to
Stunning turn of events.
I know. Although I've been doing a lot of playering, so it's nice to get in my right place. But I'm super excited. I have no idea what the party's gonna do this session. It's nice to know when it ended. Exciting stuff.
Okay, and we'll just go top, Mr. Luminous D.
Yes, hello, hi. I'm Luminous D. I'm playing the character Luminous D is Darkholder, Paladin, Knight, Esquire, and nice overall guy who will stab people because he sees bad things.
Excellent sauce. Mr. Omega.
Yes. I'm Omega. I'm playing Avra, a bird person who shoots arrows. End of sentence.
I'm proud of you. And Miss Hope.
Yes, hi guys. I am Hope. I am playing Chatter. He is a Firbolg druid with squirrel parents. He is a little nervous today because people might want to be trying to make him wear pants, and he doesn't want to wear pants. So he's having some conflict in his simple life.
All right, cool. And Mr. Adam.
Hello, I'm Adam. I'm going to play Ellen, the robot. He's a generally nice fellow who respects magic, academia, and research, and is off on a wonderful adventure to strike back against the Gith.
Cool beans. Ember.
Hi, I am playing Alexander. He is a generally not nice guy, unlike everyone else. Yeah, he's a conquest paladin, and he's gonna wreck some face eventually. I'm also eating tacos.
Awesome. And my name is Val. I'm playing Anja. She is a half-elf blade singer. Just a reminder, you guys, this is a viewer-affected sub. You can affect the game with your bits, subs, and donations. For every 100 bits, or as we just got a $1 donation from Sad Boo, thank you. You can give a luck point to any player or the DM. If you sub to the channel, you can give a nat 20 or a nat 1 to the player or the DM. And if you donate $5, you can give a quirky trait
Give a quirk
to an NPC.
and name to an NPC.
A quirk and name to an NPC. And Nightbot should be rolling these all together as we go. So, Sad Boo, if you were here, please give out your luck point. If not, I will roll a d7 and give it to somebody if you are not in here.
The power of the internet lets us roll d7s.
I know, right? Yeah, so, Robert, go ahead and take us away.
Yeah, so last week, the party ventured into the Underdark to retrieve some rare mushroom with some spores to help the citizens of the town of Malsha, or city, I should say, as they were having trouble with the crops that were being grown by these refugees. And in order to save them, they needed some Underdark product, and they went and got it. So after that, they got their payment and have been invited to a lunch with self-described revolutionaries-ish. They wasn't entirely sure. It wasn't made entirely clear what was going to happen, but just that it were people of the similar persuasion. So, but first, y'all. We're getting rooms to sleep, right? And all that?
Correct.
Most of us, yes.
So I know Alexander was just getting sloshed at a basically college tavern near the university. Is he gonna like sleep there as well, or stay there?
No, he'll make his way back to the original tavern.
Okay.
Ooh, the one that's out in the Underdark. Well, not the Underdark, but the
The
Undercity.
underquarter.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the like.
Yeah, he's totally going there because he
Other
doesn't
half.
know you guys were going up top
Okay.
for the night.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly from last time, everyone else intended to stay in a nicer tavern on this side of town. Yeah.
I think we were heading that way.
Yeah.
I didn't fancy being gawped at and sworn at by Draugr, so I thought, nah.
All right.
Anja would like to first look for Alexander because she has his money.
Yes.
So maybe she, with her intuition, which is okay, she's
Why
gonna
don't you roll me investigation?
okay
The
to see if she finds her brother. Well, that she's actually quite good at.
Yeah. So I feel like you're not sure if you're gonna be able to find him, but then there you just catch some like students stumbling around, like they obviously have spent a while drinking, and they're talking about this guy that they lost a drinking contest to in just the scariest, pointiest armor they've ever seen. Which I feel like you can put two and two get together for sure.
That definitely sounds like Alex. She's gonna go ahead and like peek into like is he gonna be inside the bar at this point, or is he gonna be okay?
I'll say you've caught him before he's done drinking.
Okay.
He won't be done drinking for a few hours, so.
All right. So she's gonna walk in and clearly see this shiny, pointy, awful, scary armor. She's gonna walk over and gingerly sit next to him, and hand him the pouch of 100 gold. We got 100 gold each, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hand him the pouch of the 100 gold, and it's like, I brought you your payment from the job. Listen, I'm sorry. I was so excited to meet someone that was family, especially after my mom died, that I didn't take the time to consider your feelings and if you actually wanted to meet somebody. So here's your money, and if you never want to see me again, I can understand.
You're not entirely not enjoyable. It's just I don't do well in groups of nice people.
Well, I think you're actually very nice. You just you are definitely nice. You just can't see it. Like I see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, if nothing else, traveling with you guys is lucrative. So, and money makes the world go round, right? So.
That's true. Well, I think we're gonna go find a place to, somewhere nice-ish to stay, since we did make all of this money. And there are just some people who aren't very comfortable with staying down with with fellow vagrants. So, I'm gonna go find them, and if you want to come, you can, but you don't have to. I can understand if you don't.
He's gonna look at his drink like, I wish I could drink this. Set it down, and just walk towards the door.
Is it disgusting? I'm gonna take the drink and I'm gonna sample it. Yeah. It's like you don't want to waste it.
It's the strongest drink they have.
Well, her constitution is fine.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go find everyone else.
Yeah. So if you all are looking for a nice tavern, I think you pretty quickly find one, you follow the sound of music and you find one. So it's like a 3-story building, and it has this large sign with a dancing badger on it, and it's called the Dancing Badger. And there's just sounds of laughter and music. But you can even hear that there's like different music. So there's obviously like music on the first floor, and then like different music coming from the third floor. And it just seems like a really like happening place.
Wow.
I know.
I wonder where the badgers stay. I'd like to stay there.
I don't think they're actual badgers.
Under the dance floor.
But there's a sign with a badger on it.
They're in
Isn't
this.
that? It has a name. That's false advertising. I don't
As I
like
said,
that.
they're under the dance floor.
Under the dance floor?
Yeah, under the dance floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
When they're not when they're not dancing, being the dancing badger, they go on. They sleep under the floor.
Oh, well, badgers do like to live underground, so I guess that big.
Yep.
I know
Okay.
very little about badger.
You wouldn't like them. If they go underground, you would feel very squished.
Oh yeah, not interested then.
Careful, they swipe at your balls.
Oh, they won't swap my balls. Or my nuts. And he's just sort of standing outside, just looking at it, like willing himself to go, but he can't because he's very afraid of all the noise and the people. Bother.
What kind of music do we hear?
So from the bottom floor, it sounds like a lot of like, kind of like standard like drinking songs and just like, like very like swaying, like, like good time. And then from the top floor, it actually you hear like violins and like string instruments.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Oh, I wonder if there's dancing. I mean, it's a dancing badger, so maybe. Who wants to dance?
I'm pretty sure there will be dancing.
Yes.
Taverns tend to involve at least some amount of dancing.
Oh, jeez.
Are you afraid of dancing, Chatter?
I don't dance very often. I'm a little bit clumsy.
Well, that's okay. I'm pretty sure there's some people in there who've never danced ever at all and are clumsier than you are. But it doesn't matter because the thing that makes you less clumsy is if you just keep doing it.
Oh, like practice.
Yes.
You know what the great thing about heavy armor is? It
It's
makes it
shiny.
really hard to dance, so you don't dance.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
That's
ceiling.
the real reason why we wear armor.
I mean, I can help you take that off if you need, Luminos.
nope,
I would
nope.
love to see you dance.
I would
Oh,
feel.
I
very
bet you're a
vulnerable.
very good dancer, Luminous.
I would feel very vulnerable. I'm good, thanks.
Well,
Do
how
you
do you
spin your arm?
I don't think dancing's that dangerous.
Oh, have you seen breakdancing? A lot of things break.
You know,
What
I
do you
don't
think?
think I have.
And I think Pam, your blacksmith, is like, oh, but I think you could do it, my lord. Come on.
Hammer,
See, Pam says
no
you can-
dessert for you.
Retainers, not children. What the hell?
And then you guys look and you just see Mommy Squirrel and Daddy Squirrel on Tatter's shoulder, and they're just swing dancing
Yes.
on his shoulder
100%
blades.
there.
And he like dips her, and she like swoons.
And there's like a little, like, not even a full rose, just like a rose petal in their teeth. Like,
Yes.
oh.
Oh, you have very good teachers.
Oh yes. I don't know why I'm no good. I tried, and last time I did, I accidentally stepped on my dad, and I broke his tail.
Is it okay now?
He looks and he nods, and you can see he's got like this kink in his tail, but he's fine now.
Have you considered trying to dance as a squirrel?
That's a good idea.
You could be quite nimble.
Okay. And he like takes his parents and he sets them down on the ground, and he wild shapes into this big fluffy red squirrel and just starts like this.
We're not even in the tavern yet. We're still
Yeah,
just
no, this is all
outside.
you are just standing in the middle of the street, like, towards the end of the day, and, like, there's people just, like, kind of staring and, like, walking along. It's just, like, this 8-foot-tall man just turns into a squirrel and starts dancing.
Right.
He's all like,
As
he's got the worst moves.
as
Yeah,
Chatter
please make a
starts
performance check,
dancing,
please.
I go like, right. I need a drink now. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom and Dad,
I agree.
let's get the boogie down.
I
I'm
definitely
not
get dancing squirrels in my life.
Exactly sure that that's the correct turn of phrase, but
It's in -1 to my performance check.
that's about right.
Yeah, I think you do about as well as you think you would as Chatter being a squirrel.
Yes, he's a groovy squirrel, and they and you guys just hear it, and then they all just march in. He feels much more confident in this form.
Yeah, so as you walk in the tavern, you see very much. So there's this large like stage where there's kind of like a 4-person like band playing this like very upbeat like body music, and there's like actually a large section of the tavern, like the middle of it is actually just a dance floor. Like it's a dedicated dance floor with a bunch of people like dancing. There's like a square dance thing going on right now, like with like a whole pattern, and then all around the outside there's like more like tables. There's not like there's like a dedicated bar, but mostly it's just like tables. And then you see the running the bar, you see this like very very peppy and like very chatty right now dwarven woman, just like chatting up everybody, it seems. And then there's just patrons everywhere.
How high is the ceiling?
It's like a normal height. It's not anything that you can really, yeah.
It's not high enough to dance in.
I mean, you could. You just would probably be hitting people's heads with your feet.
Alexander's gonna go about getting a room.
Yeah.
And then go and take his armor off in the room and come back down.
Oh, you have skin under that armor?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So whoever's getting a room, however you want to split up, it's a silver per night since it is a nice place.
Does anybody want to have a slumber party together?
Nope.
Alexander has already left.
Yeah.
I don't need a room. I'll just sleep like I usually sleep.
I'll get a room for myself and a room for my retainers.
Okay.
Whichever room
So,
Luminos takes, I want the room next to his.
Okay. Sure.
I feel the most safe next to the paladin.
I'm also a paladin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I can get a room between Alex and Luminos, perfect.
Sure.
so
Chatter, do
will
you want to
look up.
stay with me?
He like does his little squirrel chatter, and he double thumbs up.
I'm gonna scoop up Chatter and
You have squirrels on you now. 3 squirrels.
I have 3 squirrels and a possum. Let's do this.
So Chatter turns to Tulip.
Oh
And-
my god.
He does like a little bow, like just this cute little bow.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. So 1 silver. So good. We saved Chatter some money.
He will help pay for things. He just doesn't like to sleep alone, especially in a strange place.
Oh well, you can always bunk with your friend. So he's not gonna let the squirrels leave, like the squirrel family be swept up by the innkeep. Like, cool.
Anja is a saint.
This is true.
Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm starving, so I'm gonna order some food. Wow.
Yeah. So I think, if you all, the food is included with the silver piece, I'll say, get all that. Although, Andra, as you step up with all these critters hanging about you, the barmaid's like, you're a bit of a fan of all the creatures of the forest now, are ya?
Well, one of them is actually my familiar, so she can leave anytime. But as far as, the other critters, these are just my friends and his mom and dad.
Sure, all right. Well, you might want to be on the 3rd floor for the later evening. You might enjoy the performance, I think.
What's going on the 3rd floor?
It'll be a fun surprise.
There's a
The name's
surprise?
Talia, by the way.
Hi, Talia. I'm dungeon. I'm gonna like bow, like super enthusiastically hold on to the squirrels as I bow, so that they don't fall off me.
The squirrels are good. I think
Okay.
they have a climb speed, so they should be able to hang on as long as
they're
you're not doing
squirrels.
anything crazy.
Okay. Should I tell other people, or is it just me that's invited?
Oh, sure. If y'all, they're paying customers, sure.
Okay. And like as I like take my room key, I'm gonna go to like who's ever closest next to me, that's related in this party. And like apparently there's gonna be a really good show on the 3rd floor, like later tonight. That's where I'm staying.
Oh, I love the theater. That sounds amazing. Let's go, all of us.
So we are having a party in my room. Yay!
I don't think we're all going to be in your room, but we're going to be on the 3rd floor, you know, watching whatever show is happening.
So skeptical.
And
Chatter just reaches up and like pats Era's feathers that he could reach, and just sort of like very reassuringly just sort of pats him.
oh my goodness, yes. And just like a quick note that the 2nd floor is like where all the rooms are, and actually as you like go to the 2nd floor, like you don't actually like, it appears to be soundproof somehow, so that like you can actually sleep without all the like music interfering, and so that the music going upstairs and downstairs don't like clash.
Oh.
Is it soundproofing of a magical nature?
You could try and find out.
I would like to do that.
Go and make a investigation check. See if you can find out what's going on.
Investigation or Arcana?
Investigation, because you don't know where it is, like that this effect may be coming from. Yeah, I mean, I think you look and you're not sure if you could find out without like tearing up the floor and or ceiling to see what's like going on. Like, if you want to do that, I guess.
What's the floor and ceiling made of?
The floor, well, so on the 1st floor, it's like a stone floor, except for the dancing floor, which is like some polished wood. And then the ceiling of the 1st floor and the floor of the 2nd floor are wood panels, and then it's wood all up on the 3rd floor.
So Ellen's going to lean over to Era and go, I think we might have a way of finding out how they've done this. And I'm going to spend 10 minutes ritually casting Detect Magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Stop in the middle of the hallway and start chanting.
Well, I think I can... I'm not sure how Robert rules this, but I think I can move around while I'm doing that. Is that okay? Or do I have to be mobile?
I think you have to kind of stay in one place and like...
Okay, then I'll just... I guess like in the opening area, like at the top, I'll just like find a small place and begin like drawing circles on the floor and whatever. And then I'll do that.
Yeah, and you do see that there appears to be a faint bit of abjuration magic, like on both the ceiling and floors of this place.
I will academically explain that as best I can to Era.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I think we're going to the 3rd floor, though.
All right.
And
So-
Alexander, by this time, probably would have been out of his armor and down and drinking.
Yeah. So are you
Whatever
gonna
strongest ale to have?
are you gonna go up to the 3rd floor, or are you staying on the 1st floor?
Eventually, he'll go up to the 3rd floor, probably like halfway.
All right, sounds good. So right now, there is like a small string band playing. Like there's like a violin, a cello, and then like a lute going on right now, like doing some like slower jams on the 3rd floor. And this one is set up a lot more like a viewing, like almost a theater, where there's like a large stage with like a curtain, and then the tables are all set up facing the performing area. So this definitely seems like a lot more like you're here for the event, less for just like drinking and dancing and stuff.
Well, I hope they are serving wine. That would.
Yeah,
that would...
there's also a bar.
Okay. I'm just gonna definitely find a seat with a thing of alcohol, a glass of wine. She's a fancy goth. like, and sit down at like one. I guess it's kind of like one of those like jazzy club lounge things where there's like tables, and she's gonna
Very
go
much.
claim a table for the group, and if there's not enough for the whole group to sit at one table, she's gonna like start pushing a table together for everyone.
You definitely have to do that if all the retainers come too. So
Yeah, are the retainers coming?
So I try to sit down in a chair, realize the way the chair is shaped, pull out my sword, chop off the back of the chair, and sit down.
Oh,
Okay.
you're probably gonna have to pay for that.
Wait, why don't you get a stool? Oh, no, never mind.
So Chatter will coming back up into this like slightly fancier, is it less crowded up here than down in the tavern?
Yeah, well, it's a little less crowded. There's like a comparable amount of people, but it's like much calmer because everyone's just like watching and enjoying the performance.
So he will turn back and he'll go get off of Anja and turn back into a Fairbolg.
Mhm.
He picks up his parents and sets them on his shoulders, and he'll start to like help her move like chairs and tables and stuff.
Oh, you're so strong. Thank you.
Oh, I mean, I guess a little bit. So, yeah, are the retainers up here? Did you say?
Ash?
I'm eating dinner downstairs, but my
Oh,
retainers, they may follow you up there.
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah.
So the two paladins still downstairs, and we're upstairs about to watch whatever is about to happen.
Donkey, sure.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it's not gonna happen for a little bit longer, so we can just kind of like fast forward to the performance, and if y'all would have eventually migrated upstairs, we could say you're there to watch what's about to go on.
Yeah.
Oh, how much does a replacement chair cost? Just
Nobody's approached you yet.
okay, okay.
But you do see the bartender like scratch a note down like as that happens.
You
Put it on Anja's tab.
they should be a little more mindful about the different kinds of folk that might come here.
There are like as a note, there are like halfling sized tables and there are like stools and stuff.
He's just like sad that they did not have a chair for his avian friend. Of all the variety and everything, he's always thinking of the animals and the animal like with the extra appendages and wings and whatnot.
Yeah, so after a bit of this like string music, they kind of like take their bow and like everyone's applauding and stuff, and they step away, and then steps out a tabaxi, and they're kind of like a tabby color, like kind of look very spry and like kind of cartwheel onto the stage and like take a big pose, and everyone just like wah! Like this is quite obviously like the reason the people are here. Like the string band was cool, but this is why people are here. And then he kind of like claps his paws, and you see a half orc come out with some like drums and just start like lay down like a beat, and then and then he claps his paws again, and you see an elf come out with like some like hoops and just like other instruments, and then you see so first the tabaxi just starts like doing some acrobats, like just jumping around and like does at one point like flips backwards and grabs on the ceiling with their back claws and hangs like a bat from the ceiling, and then you see as they're hanging there, elf takes out like a golden looking ring that's about like this big and holds it out, and the taxi starts falling towards it. And then in the last possible second, they turn into a badger and flip right through. And then the badger starts dancing to this like drum beat.
Oh,
And
so there is a dancing badger.
there is a dancing badger.
Chatter just, I knew it.
And then as the drum beats gets faster and faster, and the badger's like dance has kind of like hit its climax, the elf holds out this badger size ring again, and then a massive size one later, and the badger jumps through and in midair turns into a brown bear and passes through the large ring, and then the brown bear starts dancing, and at the climax, just like the in like a flash of what you recognize as fairy fire, the brown bear disappears and the tabaxi is back and kind of like bows after this like acrobatic like drum, like kind of taiko drum backed up performance, and like bows and like people are just like losing their minds as this like
I'm just
performance.
losing her mind. She's like standing
That is
up and just like,
fanboying.
yes!
He's just, oh, that's very good.
That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
I knew there'd be a dancing badger. They wouldn't put it on the sign for nothing.
Incredible performance.
Oh man. Whew. As she like stands up to give like her standing O though, she kind of feels a little dizzy from the wine and she's like, oh okay. I'm gonna sit back down. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, careful, Anja.
Yeah, I actually didn't eat yet, so it's just going straight through my liver right now. I was going into my southern accent. Hold on a second. That's not Anja's voice.
That's just how drunk she is.
That's how drunk she
Yeah.
is. Everyone, she's secretly Texan, and it only
Well,
shows when she's
fair.
drunk. Like,
Well, to be fair, half of you does come from the south. Deep south.
oh,
True.
well,
The
to
really
be,
deep south.
yeah, to be fair, I'm not actually sure where Dad's from. Well, my father, I shouldn't call him Dad. I never. Alexander, where's Daddy from?
That is a good question. He's, as far as I know, he's from a lot of places. He's been kind of just a little bit of everywhere. Though he did talk about being from the coast at one point, like growing up in on the coast. I couldn't tell you what coast. Like it has been a while since I've actually sat down and had a conversation with the old man.
Is he a pirate?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Actually, the Mongol Emperor, Genghis Khan.
Yes, exactly.
Who?
That is him.
That is very scary.
Yeah, that's a little terrifying. I see where you get it from. So,
Are you sure that that's your dad, Anja?
yeah, well, I mean that's what the note said when he came to my mom's funeral and we have the same color eyes, so I don't see how it's a lie.
I mean,
My mom
I
wouldn't
guess
lie to me.
That's as good a proof as any, I
Yeah.
guess.
Aira looks skeptical.
My father wasn't exactly known for being monogamous. That's the right word, right?
Monogamous.
Monogamous.
Very
Nagness.
few
Do,
creatures
do,
are.
do, do, do.
Very few creatures actually are monogamous. Most wildlife actually takes many partners in their life.
Fun fact: owls actually do mate for life.
Do they?
They
Oh.
do.
Swans do too. They're allowed.
And
Yes,
like
I
the
agree.
parent squirrels like pat Chatter on the side like, yes, we had the talk.
I want to be there for that talk. That talk sounds amazing.
Now an animal mating.
Yeah.
So
yeah, here's the main performance is done, and now there's just like a percussive kind of band playing, and then you see the like trio, so the tabaxi, the half-orc, and the elf like take a booth on the side, and like people are coming up and like giving them drinks and like bringing them and stuff.
Chatter, do you want to go talk to the stars?
Talk to the stars.
Yeah, and I'm gonna point to the table with the
Because he's like looking for a window.
Yeah.
of the show.
Oh, I mean, oh gosh, maybe. And he just starts like wringing his poncho. That's what he does when he's nervous.
I'm gonna just walk over, grab the tabaxi's arm, and start dragging him over to.
Oh my god!
Okay, wait. So you're gonna approach the table. Yeah.
Yes.
So they're like in a booth with the elf and half orc like on either side and the tabaxi in the middle. So So are you like gonna try and just reach over and pull them out of the booth, or?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So why don't you make an athletics check with disadvantage as you're reaching over a table. All right.
That wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. Okay, so as you walk up, the back is like, do we have a fat? Oh, what? As you just like reach and start pulling them out of the table. And then
I have a friend who'd like to meet you.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Make another athletics check. This time you can do it just straight. Yeah, okay. You just keep pulling, like you pull them out of the booth. And like
by this point, Alexander would have noticed what's going on and walked over and just
and the half-orc and the elf
back
like
of the head.
Yeah, are like trying to pull you off. Are you gonna like keep your grip tight, or are you gonna let them go at this point? Arrow.
Yeah, I'll just keep tracking.
Okay, so make another. So first, half-orc. So make a athletics or acrobatics check to hold, an athletics check, because the half-orc's gonna try and pry you off. Yeah, so the half-orc just kind of like pries your hands off. Is like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on.
Too shy, and he clearly wanted to talk to him.
Ask us to come over, man. Jeez.
But that's too inefficient. These surfacers are so inefficient. So little room here. Wax him with wing.
Wax him with a wing.
Alexander has grabbed Aira by this point, by the way.
Sorry.
Like,
Okay.
he's not letting this happen.
I think they've had too much to drink or something here.
Oh, bother. Chatter hides in his poncho.
Oh
Oh.
He's sitting!
At this point, the bartender comes over. And is like, hello, my feathery friend. I think I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Oh, bother.
If this is how you're gonna be acting in like this in the bar.
Are there windows?
Yes.
Oh no!
I'd like to point out Alexander has him in a fucking bear hug at the moment.
Okay.
I love Aira.
So if you want to get out of that grapple, you'll have to make a check. Aira.
Okay, that's fine. I'll leave.
Okay.
I sort of turned to Alexander. So no, I'm leaving. Just drank a little too much.
Not the window. The door.
Yeah. Starts to take a few steps towards the door.
Okay.
Can I preemptively stand up and open the window?
You may.
I'm going to do that, kind of knowing how Aira's probably going to react.
Yeah.
And just be like, I'm going to casually do like, some air, maybe I just want to look outside. I'm going to make sure I'm leaning against one side and it's very open.
Yeah.
Take a few steps towards the door, then leap dramatically out the window as though I'm expecting the windows to still be closed.
Yeah. And you have been kicked out of the bar. Congrats.
Aira, bye. Thank you for trying. I guess.
Don't forget to use your wings!
Yeah, and as the bartender kind of goes back to the bar, the half-orc kind of sits back down, and then the Pexi's like, so you had a friend?
I am so sorry.
I'm sorry.
You know, I wish I could tell you that was the first time, to be honest.
Oh, bother.
Yes.
Alexander will actually bow in front of them because he's like, he doesn't say anything, but he bows and then walks away.
Well, thank you, I suppose.
Yes, we thought that your performance was very nice.
Well, thank you.
And
are you still hiding, by the way?
no, he's
Okay.
lowered his
Okay.
poncho down now that the tensions have passed. You have to forgive Ira, he doesn't really know much about normal society
Ah,
or
Well.
people much. He comes from a village that's pretty far away, and this is his first time away from home.
I'm starting to understand that very quickly. Yes. Well, I think I guess I'm a bit honored that they were so affected by the performance. And what's your name?
Oh, I'm Chatter.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm called Greenleaf.
Greenleaf. Wow, that is a fancy name.
Thank you.
So, do you perform here every day?
Most days, yes. When it suits me, really.
Are you a druid too?
Yes, I've been studying the natural world since I was young.
Oh, that's very fascinating. I love that. I also can do that, and my
Oh,
friends
really?
here loved your performance too. And he'll gesture to Elland, and he's pretty good at performing and stuff too. I think
Oh,
he's
you don't
very
say.
knowledgeable about things. Knows a lot. He's trying to deflect the conversation away from his.
I'll like take a bow. It's like, oh, thank you, Cheddar. You're so kind, generous. Yes, I do my best to learn and seek knowledge. Your performance was mind blowing, incredible. How long did it take you to learn to do all those things?
Well, I mean, a good performer never reveals their secrets, but I have taken a long time to master this performance, I will say. Getting the transformations just right has been tricky, to say the least.
I imagine it must have been a difficult thing to learn to go through such small hoops. Is it just the three of you then?
We've had larger and smaller groups, but this is the current makeup. Yes, I found it suits the act.
And
Very-
Alexander would have come back by now, by the way.
Mhm.
With he has a stringed instrument in his hands now.
Okay, yeah.
It's just a
Where
random
from?
little thing. I don't know what they're called. The ones
ukulele?
that
Flutes?
no.
Lion?
Sitar?
Oh,
The ones that are on their side, yeah.
Mhm.
The ones they have to pick with the little fan looking thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
can you play Foobird?
You see Anja's eyes just get like super bright at this. You play a musical instrument?
One thing I do that isn't entirely work related.
Oh my god, that's so amazing!
He's gonna walk up to the Tabaxi and their group.
Yeah.
And
Well, right now the tabaxi is like by all y'all, and the other two are off back at their table.
No.
Maybe a little
He's-
put off.
he's gonna walk up to them and be like, I apologize for my friend's behavior, and I have this, and he points to the sitar. I have hopefully a peaceful offering, and he starts picking at the sitar,
Mhm.
and it's playing a like almost sea shanty-esque kind of tune. He's okay. He's definitely not bad, but you can tell it's not his main focus.
Yeah, go
But
and
he plays that.
Go and make a performance check.
And with this, Luminos walks in.
Nice. Yeah, no, they at the end of it, that was very nice. Thank you. Wander under the bridge. It's all right. Just
Of
glad we
course,
can-
the emo plays the guitar.
Alexander will give you like a nasty look and be like, "It's not a guitar." I don't know how
Luminos,
to
you
play
missed the
that.
performance. It was incredible.
I saw a bird get kicked out.
There was actually a dancing badger after all.
yes,
Oh, so it wasn't a donkey show. Okay.
Yeah, you see this like tabby tabaxi be like, yes, I would be the dancing badger. That's me.
What's a donkey show?
Yes.
I mean, I could technically do the show as a donkey.
Maybe
By
next
all
time.
means. By all means, have Anja be the assistant.
What? No. I honestly couldn't do anything like that. I have had a glass and a wine, and I cannot.
Oh, I'm sure that glass of wine helps a lot.
And then there was that thing that I finished off for Alex, so it didn't go to waste. I couldn't possibly do any of that.
Oh, it's fine. All you have to do is lie on your back.
What?
What is it? I don't understand what it. I thought I saw a donkey show one time, but it just happened to be a particularly frisky donkey on a nice spring day, jumping around in the field.
Oh, I'm sure that donkey was frisky.
He was. He was dancing around and kicking up dirt, but I don't think a donkey would go very well in here. He might kick something over.
Donkeys are quite large. I don't know if he would actually fit on the stage very well if we brought a donkey in here.
Well, there was a bear.
That
I'm
is
guessing
true.
they're pretty big.
What's a donkey show?
Well, I'm sure the tabaxi friend would happily like to tell you about that.
Yeah, you see Greenleaf is like trying not to laugh at you guys too much. Well, it sounds like you all have a lot to discuss. I'm going to go back to my troop, but
What?
I'm
You don't want to
glad
explain it to them?
I feel like that's your responsibility here. Have a wonderful evening. I'm glad you enjoyed the performance.
Thank you for meeting us, and I don't know if this is rude or not, but I'd like to give you a gift for such a good performance. And he like fumbles in one of his pockets and he takes out one of his coins, one of his gold coins, and he gives it to the tabaxi.
Not rude at all. Thank you very much.
Oh, God. You're welcome.
He takes his leave. They take their leave.
I whisper into Orange's ear what a donkey show is.
You wanted me to participate in that? Like, because she has, like, gray skin, like, her blush is just more, like, of a purple.
It's just a deep, like, purple.
It's, like, a dark purple, and just, like, I have this moment, and I was like... Stares
literally.
at him.
Not Jesus, not literally. I meant it was a joke because the others got it. Since you didn't know, that's the funny part.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go get another glass of wine now.
I think I broke Anja.
Feel like Pam like comes up with you as like he just knows from experience.
Wait.
Hang on. I'm doing a perception.
Yeah. Here's the thing. She's not trying to like actually. She wanted you to hear that.
No dessert for a week.
They're not children.
No, but I do treat them well.
And Alexander will slip Pam a pie later on.
Just
She's like, oh, I was gonna get one myself, but thank you.
Also, I'd like to point out that in case anyone, because I don't remember if I told anyone this, Alexander does have an absolutely massive scar on his face, like one big line covering his face.
I would assume that
remember if
Anja
I
has
said that.
possibly
Never
seen it
noticed.
at least one time.
I mean, you would have noticed. I meant like
Yeah.
this. I think this is the first time, other than Anja, any one of you have seen my face. So
Aira still wouldn't have noticed. Would have seen your face.
Here
Got
you-
skin on it. Yeah.
that skin. Ugh.
So Chatter has never really drank an alcohol in his life. So he's going to go up to the bar and he puts his hands on it and he says, I would like to order one alcohol, please. But can you please put it in a bowl?
The bartender like looks at you, and then we'll look at like I guess Anja's right at the bar right now. Like,
Yes.
give you a look like, is this like?
He's from the forest.
He wants a white Russian.
Yes. Wait. Hold on a second. Chatter, are you lactose intolerant?
Oh, No, I like to drink milk.
He will have a White Russian.
Sure. All right.
And,
What is
Amazing.
that?
a round of the strongest drinks as well for the table.
Oh, I don't know if I
Alright.
can deal with that.
Chatter doesn't know how to use cups, so
Yeah.
laps out of a bowl.
I think we definitely need a con save from Chatter to see how he deals with.
You said it's the first time Shadow's had a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know how to pace yourself, or do you just drink the whole
He
thing?
just starts laughing. He literally like leans on the bar like this, and he just starts like,
Yeah. No. It
"Oh no, Chatter!"
very quickly you just start feeling real bad.
Oh,
You feel real bad.
oh, this is poison milk.
Well, technically, all alcohol is poison. It goes through your liver and it processes it just like you would poison, but it's a poison that makes you feel nice.
Oh,
And,
Great, yeah.
Maybe rum is just not your thing. Here, trade with me, and I'm gonna trade the glass of wine for the bowl of White Russian.
And Alexander's just going to continuously feed Chatter drinks, telling him that it's better the more you drink.
He's gonna stay with you if you keep doing that.
How about try this water I got? How about try this water, which is pure vodka?
Okay. I think if Alexander is feeding Chatter, I need you to make like a dex save real quick.
Oh no.
Me?
No,
Oh.
Alexander.
Oh no.
Chatter believes all of you. Chatter trusts you guys.
I'm too tipsy to save him.
Yeah, I think that's not enough. At like a few drinks in, as you're like egging Chatter on, Chatter, you just all over Alexander, just covered.
Get all the evil out.
Yeah.
Alexander is disgusted but also laughing his ass off.
Metaphor, which makes me
And you see the bartender like rings a bell, like as if this is like a running thing, and everyone like cheers.
And I just scream out like tactical chunder.
Have I accomplished?
Okay, I think that's my cue. We have to make sure Chatter lays down on his side, okay?
Don't worry, I
I'm
sleep.
pretty sure he's not gonna be lying down. He'll be around the box soon.
Question, could I take a reaction? Or was my dex save way too low?
What did you want to do?
Cast Armor of Frost?
Breaking the DM.
Yeah, sure. You cast Armor of Frost, and you just now have puke-covered frost armor.
Is it pretty?
Yes.
It's more to keep his clothes clean.
Yeah, like some
Somewhat.
still gets on you. Like you're not completely covered, but like, okay, sure. And
Goes
as the
washes
spell
that
ends,
off.
it just like falls on the ground all around you, though.
Yeah. And it's like,
Does
that was
Era-
fun. We'll do
does
this
Era
again.
know about alcohols?
You see Alexander get very excited.
And he like shambles over to the window where Era flew out.
Yeah, what's Era doing? Is Era like peeping in or something, or
I'm just flying around, just
okay, enjoying the night air?
weather.
Right.
Yeah.
I go to Chatter. Says, "Here you go. Have some grape juice." It's from
Oh,
wine.
I love grape juice. And is it in a glass?
Yes.
Okay, so he like goes to like he like takes it like this and he like rests it on his face and just leans back.
You definitely need to make a dex save here. 100%.
He doesn't understand.
I know to stand back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so you get like a little bit, and then it just like falls like out and just smashes on the ground. Because you're just like too drunk and too confused to drink a glass.
it's in his nose and his eyes, and he's just
Yeah.
like, and then he's just trying to go to the window to shout out for Era, and he goes and he like puts his torso out and he like looks around and he's Era, hey, and he thinks he's yelling, but it's really just like a
Yeah.
sort of looks down and sees the torso of Shatter like, what?
He's got wine dripping off of him.
Where are the
I've been
squirrels?
gone for like 15 minutes.
I had
I feel
those
like
alcohols.
I feel like the squirrels also like are a bit slashed right now. Just
Oh, absolutely. They're drinking out of acorn caps.
yeah.
And they're just sitting at the bar, setting their acorn caps down in front of the bartender, just like looking.
Yeah, just like slamming the bar.
Yes.
Like another.
Another. And they stole some of Chatter's coins, actually, because they understand paying money for things.
Of course.
Of course they
Very
do.
smart squirrels. Very smart squirrels. They're squirrels of the world.
They are squirrels of the world.
This is true.
So he's
Okay.
looking for Era.
Avra's gonna fly down after he sees the state that Chatter is in. And is gonna fly into the window and be like, guys, what? Why would you do this? What? Come
It was
on.
Poison milk.
For science! And like Ellen's just furiously taking notes.
Era, do you want an alcohol?
Not particularly. Cups happen to be particularly hard with my particular, mouth.
Me too. But it's more of a hand problem for me.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing, guys. You should not be feeding Chatter massive quantities of alcohol. Or any alcohol, actually. It's not a good idea.
I'm ill.
Yes, I noticed. Come on. And I sort of grab Chatter, wrap my wing around her, and start leading her downstairs and out of the building.
Chatter's a boy.
Him. Damn it.
It's okay.
This is going to happen at least
It
once.
gets confusing sometimes.
So you're just gonna lead Chatter to their.
Not
to-
until he
to his
lifts
room,
his
or-
poncho, though.
Not until there we go.
Yes, he's going to go with Era and walk in get some fresh air.
I don't know if Anja has anything to help clean your clothes with, Alexandra. Let me see.
Prestidigitation.
She doesn't have it.
I was kind of hoping one of you did.
I do.
Oh, shit.
I'm prestidigitating Chatter clean first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alec. All of my spells are meant to bring pain onto my enemies.
I mean, most of my spells are meant to be paid to my enemies, but whatever.
And
Right.
to make sure that I can look different. So that the racists don't recognize me.
Well, all of my spells are meant for not cleaning. I was hoping you or Ellen had something. If not, I will go and clean up.
I don't.
I
Unfortunately.
am the only one with prestidigitation. Nice.
Rob, is there like a person sober enough around to deliver a message for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna, as I said I would, write a message about our location and tell this person to deliver it to Taro.
Yeah.
Taro?
Yep. Tara.
Taro. Say we're at the Dancing Badger having a wonderful time. And we are, what, did he say he wanted to send this person to meet us here, or was he going to like come and get us? I can't remember.
Yeah, he said he was gonna send a person to collect you guys and show you the right location.
Okay, so I'll explain like where we are and what we're doing, and then like pay the guy if I need to, or
Nah.
convince him.
I'm sure he'll be like, well, yeah, he'll be like extend his hand, like it's not a free service.
Sure. Great. Okay.
Right, I'm going to bed. So I pay five silver to the barkeep for the drinks I applied to Chatter, and I head off to bed.
Louis, can you help?
With
Or I just need to get back to my room. The room is spinning.
Alexander.
Throw it over my shoulder.
I was about to say.
Firemen carry just.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Alexander
be
stays
carried
and
by
drinks.
Alex. She stinks.
I was about to say. He's come back cleaned up by now.
Okay. She's
Yeah.
gonna like point into the direction of like as she's, hunched over Luminous's shoulder, like point to where her room is. Just make sure that I lay down on my side and to open up the window in case Shatter and Era come inside.
Alright.
Thank you, I appreciate all of your help. You're so nice. And she's gonna like pat his head.
I'm gonna lead Chatter back to his room, make sure he's comfortable,
Yeah.
and then stay there and make sure I can, clean up all of the potential vomit that happens in this room.
Yeah.
Shatter is staying in Anja's room.
Yeah.
Yes, all the potential vomit.
All of it. So you got all of them covered. So Chatter, like, when he comes back with Era, he's just like, Era, you are the nicest bird in all the land, and I have talked to a lot of birds in a lot of lands. And he, like, pats his feathers. He says, your white feathers are very pretty, and I would like to keep one. And he, like, pulls one of his feathers out.
Thanks, but you're supposed to ask first.
Oh.
Oh my
Tries to stick the feather back in.
He, like, tickles the feather on his beak, and he goes, you're a silly bird.
Thanks.
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh, yep. Sure is.
We're in your room.
Hey, it's a luminous. It's a luminous.
Lumi brought me here. He's so nice.
Lumi, I like that. That's a good name.
I toss her on the bed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Rolls over on my side. Like...
Shove her over. And say, all right, window wide open.
So the squirrels will like jump down from the bar and they like stagger down the hall trying to follow Luminous and Anja because they know that she's staying in the same room as Shatter. They just sort of show up and they're all like drunk and teetering around. And they start chattering at each other, like fighting, like, slapping each other.
Oh god.
I just forcibly separate the squirrels like, dude, Chatter's sleeping.
And they start like the mother squirrel starts like pointing her finger at you and she's chattering very angrily and her tail's all fluffed up. And Shatter
I can't
goes,
understand squirrel.
she's saying that they like to fight whenever they get drunk so then they could have the makeup sex.
Really?
Right.
Seems like a very unhealthy cycle.
Before I leave, I think the best thing to do, because I'm not gonna like a hangover Chatter. I do lay a hands on Chatter and do purge poison.
Sounds good.
Oh, I feel so much better. Thank you, Lumi.
I don't know if I want to sleep in the same room that mom and dad have sex in.
I'm leaving her. That'd be funny. And then I go off to my room.
They'll probably go outside onto the roof or something.
Okay, that's so nice.
And Alexander will keep drinking throughout the entire night, getting extremely close to alcohol poisoning at one point.
Christ.
Hey.
But he just heals himself and just keeps going.
Oh,
Like,
goodness.
He's gonna be
Paladins,
exhausted.
the best drinkers. Oh, very clever.
Oh.
Wait until poison immunity.
Yeah, right. You think it's bad now?
Yeah, he's trying. This is how he gets it. He does. It's not from his divine presence. It's just because he just keeps drinking to the point where he can't be poisoned anymore.
I mean, when you have poison immunity, you can't get drunk.
Well, yeah, but he fucking just can keep going.
No, that's when you start moving into the hard stuff.
No.
That's when you start doing drugs.
All right.
Anja whispers in her sleep.
Yeah. we're gonna fade to black on this wonderful evening, man.
Mess.
Oh my god.
That was fun.
Yeah. So, wait, Arrow, are you sleeping just like on the roof of this building or something, or?
Normally I would sleep flying, just like glide on an updraft. However, right now I'm staying in the room with Chatter.
Okay.
And just staying there, making sure she's clean. He's clean enough. God damn it! Making sure he's clean enough and comfortable enough.
Yeah. So in the morning.
So have we had a long rest now?
Yes.
Okay.
In the morning, all of you, in varying degrees of being hungover,
I was about to say, except for the paladins.
Right. The room with Anja, Chatter, and Aira, there's a...
Oh, that's so loud.
It's a woodpecker.
I don't think so. I'm gonna, like, roll over. I'm gonna get it. Aira, you're not supposed to be here. And I'm gonna, like, kind of straighten out my hair. I need an aspirin. And I'm gonna go over and crack the door open. Yeah?
Oh, hello! It's Halia.
Hi, Halia. How are you?
Of course. I'm
Sorry.
doing well. No worries. So I've got a message that you're supposed to be meeting some people a little later. Yeah?
Yes. We are. Could you bring me a Bloody Mary?
Don't worry, I've got plenty of stuff for you.
Thank you.
How about y'all just get some breakfast on the first floor and then we'll take care of this, all right?
Okay.
What do you got for breakfast?
You're not supposed to be here.
What are you looking for?
Oh, shit.
I don't know. Small pigeons?
You can make chicken.
That sounds lovely.
All right.
Do our rooms come with, like, a tub,
Yeah.
or do we have to, like...
No,
is there,
there's
like, a
there's
bath?
like separate bath houses.
Okay.
Like a bathroom, sorry.
Okay, cool. I'm assuming it comes
you
with, like,
could magically
robes,
kill
at least.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go to the
It's a
boys,
nice place.
and I'll be like, I'm just gonna go take a nice warm bath, and then I'll meet you guys downstairs, okay?
Sounds good, Anja.
Okay.
So all of you get a similar like message from Halia to come downstairs, have breakfast, and then adjourn or a meeting.
Alexander will come down in essentially shorts and a muscle shirt. He gives no shits at the moment.
He's sat down there in full armor. Okay.
I assume your stench is truly legendary.
Yeah. Yeah. His armor is clean. His other clothes are not. He's gonna be getting new armor or getting new clothes.
I'm just gonna prestidigitate you clean. Just like.
Oh, he's clean, and his clothes that he's wearing are clean, but they're also his only other like outfit he wears.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, he goes and buys new clothes after breakfast, but
After the meeting, okay.
after breakfast for the meeting.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Alan's going to come down now. As it's happening, he's completely sober, very well rested. He's put on his finest clothes that he's got, like a nice fine shirt, although it's not buttoned up correctly at all, and like a completely open waistcoat. And he's just like, he's reading a book, and he gets to the bottom step and like falls forward because he's too busy reading, and lands, catches the book closed, and sort of goes, "Oh, hello, good morning," and then like sits down to like have breakfast. How are you all feeling? He might be a bit louder than he should be on purpose for the people that are drunk.
Yeah, I think that's honestly just Anja because everyone else is a paladin or cured by a paladin or didn't do it.
Yeah, Anja takes her time getting down. She probably even comes like after Ellen because she soaks very, and she takes like she rehydrates herself with whatever beverage, like not necessarily a Bloody Mary, but if it's just tomato soup or chicken noodle soup, she
Halia hooks you up with
thank you
the
with
resident cure.
she gets those electrolytes going as she like bathes, and she does have an extra pair of clothes too that she, as soon as she like bathes and has electrolytes and is like spruced up, she just comes down like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like
Perfect.
she's like, oh hey, good morning everyone, how are you doing? Her cute little petty, her little jacket and her floofy Lolita dress, just ready to go.
We're doing.
So Alexander's gonna go buy new clothes for the meeting. Is there anything else you guys want to do to prep before we move forward to the meeting? Or
Yes, buying
Okay.
pants for Chector. I'll be right back.
all right.
But I don't want to wear pants.
No choice.
But I
Aira
don't.
squints at you.
If we're gonna have to get dressed up, so is he. And he's wearing pants. Says, God forsaken, I'm not gonna see his ding dong once more.
I mean, are you jealous?
No, I don't want that walk cover thing.
That was my stomach.
What about I just wear pants for the meeting?
That's a great idea. You just have a pair of pants on hand for you to have for whenever we have to meet with, civilized people.
No,
Okay.
they're being horse glued on.
No, you can't. This is a man of nature, and he enjoys his freedom. We should allow him.
Yeah, I'm saying there's freedom in nature, and then there's whapping his pecker out every time he lifts up his coat.
Okay, but just make them sweatpants then.
If they're nice and baggy,
They'll be breezy. They'll be nice and breezy.
if they're
You're the only
breezy-
one complaining about seeing it, bud. So
Well, I'm not. I'm saying I'm not like you. I don't get my jimmies going when I see it.
Oh, it's just natural. I like just like I said, whenever you have to go to the bathroom, and then what if you have to run all of a sudden? Pants will trip you, and you'll fall and you'll die.
And do you know what? You can also trip on that thing, that python you got between your legs as well.
I have no words.
Chatter just looks down.
Where? No, snakes are very friendly. They're misunderstood.
I don't think that one.
oh my god.
Halia's losing it behind the bar at this conversation. She literally like tags herself out, like has another person take over the bar, and she like steps into the back room just like she can. Like this is hilarious.
Okay, so what if this, I don't know. I just don't like to wear pants. I tried it one time and I fell down and I hurt myself.
You know what? We'll start instead of trousers. We'll go with underwear.
Shorts.
Like a jock strap?
We'll go with underwear. We'll go with tighty whities. How's that?
I mean, we
Not
could
too
always just
tight.
get him capri pants. Then they would just come up. I mean, I'm pretty sure that any normal sized pants would turn into capris on him. He is quite tall. I don't think they make pants for 8-foot tall men.
What if it was like a skirt?
You would look so cute in a skirt.
You know what? I know where I can get some Tirtan.
Like a kilt?
Yes.
Okay. I can agree with that. I just like to feel the wind in my crotch, I guess.
I can agree with this sentence.
long as we don't
Usually
see
I'm
it.
flying.
Okay, I can agree to this.
All right. I'll go and get some Tirtan then.
Cool.
I know that Lumi will make me look very good with my new
Tirtan. Tirtan.
He hides behind a bunch.
Just go be like every other person and call it tartan. Be like everyone else and call it the unproper way, tartan.
Tartan.
Tartan?
Salt
Tirtan.
salty?
Tirtan.
He hides behind his poncho and just.
Perfect.
Oh no!
Oh, sorry. And he pulls it. I forgot.
I'm going to get the Tirton.
Go get the done. Bye.
I walk off. I'm done.
Okay, love you. Bye.
All right. Anything else to prepare for the meeting?
I don't think
We
that's
love
necessary.
you, Rob.
This is no. I see. I don't want to interrupt. I can just. I don't. This doesn't make my job easy. I can just sit back and watch.
Facilitate. Oh man. No, I'm just good. I just.
I hope that he brings me a ta-ta-ta-ta like you wear.
Do you like it?
It's very pretty.
Thank you. Kind of does a little twirl.
Alexander is buying the equivalent of a suit and tie.
It's not very practical. That's my problem with your dress, Anja.
What do you mean? It's quite loose fitting. It doesn't get snagged in anything. It's. I also don't have to wear pants with it.
But you can't kick an attacker. There's not really enough room to punch an attacker.
But
You
I
see-
don't
But she
actually
doesn't
have
need
to punch
to.
anyone.
But
Did
what
you
if you
see?
do?
Well,
The
then
fan-
I would and I pull out my rapier and I do a little stance and it's like, I just poke them.
Also, there's no holes for flying.
I
Ellen will just gently lean over to Era. Not everybody has wings, Era.
Oh. Well, that's why you're on the ground.
Not as much as we wish we did.
As far as I know, me and
I've never
Era are
seen
the
any
only
of you
one with
naked,
wings.
so I assume everyone has wings, right?
Of course. Maybe we'd all just have really small ones.
Except for Chatter. I'm very
Obviously.
confident he doesn't have wings.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have wings yet.
Yeah.
He has a while to go for that.
Alexander does when he's angry.
Dude, so when's
That's
our
about it.
meeting? When is our meeting?
Alia kind of comes back out, still a little red in the face, but it's composed herself again. Well, I've got the details right here, so I'll lead y'all over when it's a time.
Okay. Do you
Just
have a
be careful.
fever? You look like you might have a fever.
I haven't laughed like that for a while. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
good. Mhm. And
Yeah.
they'll just kind of wait for his garment.
Yeah. So y'all get your new outfits. We have the new skins unlocked.
New skin pack unlocked.
Yeah. Formal party. And then after a little bit, Holly's like, if you could follow me this way, and leads you back upstairs, and into what appears to just be like a king size room. I don't know if any of you sprung for that one, but and kind of pulls on one of the table legs, and it lifts up, and there's just a small pathway.
Oh, the secret.
Well, this is
You could follow
unnecessary.
me.
And as they're walking, Chatter's just kind of squatting and stretching out his legs and kind of testing out the flexibility of his the skirt. And he looks at Luminous and he goes, "I like the turnden."
Keratin, yes. I got one that complements your skin. Yes, but and I also got a nice sporin for you as well. The little.
And it's still nice and free and breezy. And he does a little half twirl.
It's made out of fine hair, fine hair fur.
Oh. And he just kind of peers down the secret passage and he goes, "Well, I guess you picked out the right place, Luminous."
So the sporin, it goes in the front. It's like a pouch that keeps the weight on the front.
Oh.
It's also a little pouch for you to put things in. I thought you might like that.
I like pouches, I do.
Like squirrels.
But just remember, it stays on the front.
Is nobody
It's a
concerned
weird- like,
that there's a
adjusting
secret
himself.
passage on the third floor?
It's on the second floor, like
on
so
the
this
second
is,
floor of a bar.
well, so basically, like it's on like there's obviously like a central like beam and stuff, like support structures. This is like facing inside that, so like there's apparently just like a spiral staircase going through the like central structure of this building.
Are we going up or down?
Down.
Okay.
Into
Can I like guesstimate how low we go as we go?
This is probably like you guess like a secret part of the basement of this place.
Is it lit? Presumably it's
Yeah,
lit.
there's torches and stuff. And as you enter in, you see a like it's kind of a mixture of like a strategy room and a dining room, like a fancy. So it's like it's lit and warmed by like a large hearth with like this marble decoration, but there's also like a large oak dining table with a map of the city like sprawled out with like different markings. Like you see all the like Gith Yankee watchtowers are like marked on the map, and you see there's like a patrol, like a general patrol route for the like Astral Brig, the large ship floating above the city at all times, like where it generally kind of goes. And then you see sitting around that table, there's the Professor Terror Melvir, who you recognize. There also is a few more people. So you see a green dragonborn, who's currently, you see, like looking at a bunch of different places, like very like studying the map. A female woman in like very fancy clothes, like looks like she just came from a gala or something. A female drow woman who is wearing like very traditional like drow like matriarch clothing, like as if she was a former like higher up in the matriarchy. And then you see Halia take one of the other chairs and kind of indicates for you all to take a seat.
Could we have had this meeting not underground? It's
Sorry.
very claustrophobic in
So
here.
my friend here is trying to say thank you for welcoming us and seeing us at such short notice. We're so glad to be invited. It's great to see you all. I'm going to take a seat next to like one of the new people.
Yeah, so basically
not
they're
all
on
I'm
like one
saying.
side, and then there's like another side for you all to sit on it. Holly was like, yeah, sorry about that. This is just we know this place to be secure, and it can never be too safe.
I'm not bothered by it whatsoever.
Alexander will stay standing behind Anja's chair.
Okay.
Chatter will like very carefully sit down in the chair next to Anja, just because he's a little worried every time he sits in a new chair because of how big he is. He's very worried about it like breaking, so he just very easily like eases himself into the chair.
Yeah, these are very sturdily made though, so
He wriggles around in it once he realizes it's safe.
yeah. Yeah, so you see the professor kind of like, well, I suppose we should introduce ourselves. You all know me, Professor Terrell Melvir, but I suppose we'll just go down the line. And Halia, the name is Halia Anhid. I run the bar, and well, I'm very much interested in getting this city in a better place. I've been a part of this city for a couple 100 years now, me and my family, so very much like to see it return to the better state. And then the drow woman, yes, my name is Genfei Tajis. I was one of the many drow who were relocated up here, and I very much would like to see us, at the very least, on an equal footing with some of the other citizens of this place.
What race was Halia again?
A dwarf.
Okay.
Just,
Couldn't remember.
but not a Duragard, just a normal servant.
Just yeah.
Yeah. She appears
Okay.
to probably be a hill dwarf by reckoning.
Okay.
And then the female noble lady. Yeah, hi, and I'm Shelly Artemis. I'm part of the Artemis family. I don't know if you heard of us. We do a lot of trading between cities here. And well, I don't know. I very much want to see some better stuff going on, and I'm really happy to hear that we might have people who are of similar minds. And then the Green Dragonborn. Yes, and I'm Antikam Lodar. I was captain of the guard under the former ruler of the city before this invasion happened, and we were taken over by the Guild Feathers.
Oh, did you say former ruler of the city? Like the whole city? Okay.
Yeah, so a reminder, since y'all don't know, but your characters would know, after the Gith invaded, the world kind of became destabilized in the fact that kingdoms didn't really have a way of effectively ruling over large areas of the city. So Malja is a city state now, where it has some rule around the land around it, but mostly it's just the city. And the past rulers of the city were completely overtoppled in a bloodless coup by the now ruler of the city, whose name is Geraldo Guildfeather, a human man who was the master of coin in the city, and now is running the town in not the best way towards the new refugees, but in a very profitable way. So Malsha is prospering and very successful, but at a bit of a cost. So just as a little note, because your characters would know that if they.
Some of our characters would know that.
Most of your characters would know that, yeah.
Just a quick thing. You said the Dragonborn was captain of the guard, so he's a warrior type looking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's wearing full plate armor.
Okay. And are they all different, or do they do any of them have I'm trying to think of the word, a marking or something that's similar, maybe a badge or a ring, something that identifies them?
They don't seem to have a unifying symbol or anything. It just appears to be a group of people with similar interests.
Okay.
So then the professor kind of pipes up. So I think for the benefit of my associates, I think it would be good if y'all could introduce yourselves, and then we can start talking about our goals and how we can advance them.
Well, I'm Aira. I've got a very particular set of skills. That's all you need to know.
All right.
You can fly and poop on your head.
I'm assuming
that's
you
not
can do
one of my
much more.
skills.
That is his only skill. Yes, I agree.
Well, thank you all
Oh,
for welcoming us here. That's
He poops on your head with arrows.
That's not entirely wrong.
Shh, Ellen's trying to introduce himself now, Louie.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine. We're all wonderful friends. I'm sure we'll become even greater friends now. Of course, as my companion says, my name is Ellen. I have been researching the Gith a little while in my time here, so I hope that I can be of use with what I have learned. And I am a bard of some talent in magic. And of course, I know tarot quite well from my academia. That's me.
Alexander will step up, give a little bit of a kind of typical military salute to the Dragonborn, then address the other one. My name is Alexander Bagmar. I am a paladin of a. He hesitates. Of a group. I'm very skilled in combat and very, very, very persuasive. And you get the feeling he's not talking about the nice kind.
His definition of persuasion is a little on the violent side.
Jefe, the drow lady, just kind of like looks pointedly at your cleaver and just like, yes, I'm sure you quite are.
I can be nice when I need to be. I just don't find the need to be.
Could be nice.
I've been nice, like once, sometimes, somewhere.
Everybody likes to pet dogs. That doesn't count.
This is true.
And who might you be?
Oh, oh gosh, I'm Chatter. I am big.
I can tell that, yes.
Also, I'm.
More in one way.
He looks at Luminous and then turns back. I'm good at healing, I guess, and nature. I like animals. And then he just puts his head down in his hands because he goes to go for his poncho, but then he like forgets that he has a skirt and he like stops himself and he just shifts awkwardly in his seat and just puts his head in his arms and like puts his head down.
Oh, no.
And then the squirrels start like petting your head, like patting you, like, oh, you did great.
Oh.
I put my wing around Chatter.
Oh bother. The end.
That's all, folks.
Hi. Yes, my name is Anja Damaser, daughter and only child of Kaida Damaser. You might have heard of her. She used to run a gang. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of, everyone getting to choose where they live, not being forced to live in places that they don't want to. But yeah, I have some gang-like skills that I can contribute if that's something that you need. Only if you need it. If you don't need me, that's perfectly fine. I am happy to just to yay.
Is Girl Scouts counted as a gang?
And Alexander will put his hand on Anja's shoulder and speaking to the other three, and she's also very, very talented with magic.
Yes, I am very talented. That's the gang skills I was talking about.
Also, she's quite the dancer.
I
Yes.
love dancing. We'll look over at Lumi. It's like, what's the Girl Scouts?
Girls that learn survival and sell cookies.
I've never actually sold cookies before. I'm not a good. Well, actually, I'm not that bad at baking, but I'm much more better at preparing hearty meals.
What are these cookies you speak of?
Oh, you don't know what cookies are?
Cookies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm finished. Thank
Well, I know what Orange will be doing this evening.
Participating in a... Never mind.
Were you going to say that? Never mind.
I was going to say she was going to bake some cookies.
Oh.
What do you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to bring up the donkey show again.
But not
I know
again.
what that is now.
Sure you don't need it explained again?
No.
Chatter just looks up at the people that they're meeting between his fingers and just sort of like puts his head at his head.
Yeah, you see like these people just like looking like, okay. Halia will be like, hey, anyway, so kind of
Did Luminous introduce
refocusing here.
himself?
Kind of refocusing here. We do my interestingly minded friend, what can we call you? Looking at Luminos.
I'm Brian, the jester. I'm a comedian. Social act. I like to, do interpretive things. I like to be the life of the party sometimes.
His name is Luminos.
Oh,
Actually,
really fun, White
I
Area.
feel like
He's
I think I
right.
heard someone be called Lumi.
You ruined the fun, why don't you? Saying, yes, I'm Luminos D. Starcaller, Paladin, Knight of the human realms.
Well, welcome all of you. So, we do have I think I don't need to tell you that the city's in a bit of a sore state, and you see, we all kind of have different ideas of how this might get fixed. And Antakam, the dragon, were like, they're gonna start to try and convince you with diplomacy, and the only way these Gith are gonna listen to us is if we show that we are a threat and we need to be taken seriously. Serious military steps need to be made to weaken the Gith and show them that they are our equals or our subordinates. That's the only way we'll get any amount of respect. And then Jean-Fei says, Antikam, please, you need to talk like this as rational beings, as people.
Why don't you just go with deterrence?
Yes. Well, I suppose we're going to do this now. Well, so I think we all have different ideas and leads. I know our scaled friend here would more than love to just set a flame to everything Gith in this city, and like I'm just like I want to say something, but I'm not gonna. But we're not all of the same mind. Now, I believe that the problem is that we is twofold. Firstly, there's a language barrier. Now, some of the Gith have learned some broken common, but for the most part, we can't communicate effectively with them. Also, we haven't had any real diplomatic talks. I think if we could learn to speak with these people and then find a way to meet them on neutral or their ground, they could be reasoned with.
We don't need to learn. We have for small gatherings, we could always send. I mean, yes, it would be respectful to learn, but we could send, a semi-competent wizard, or hell, I can't remember what they're called right now, but essentially the Myconids, right?
Mhm.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, Myconids.
Myconid.
We could have the Myconids for spores that they use to communicate as well.
I also know their language.
And everyone except I think I don't know if Terror necessarily knows that you can, so everyone just kind of like looks at you. Really? Well, I'm sure there's a story of how you learned that.
I wanted. The best way to know thy enemy is to be able to first understand them. So, through my research, I spent many moons learning their language carefully in secret, careful not to speak it too frequently in front of them, so that I could perhaps one day be of use to someone like this group, and also to be able to further my research itself.
I wish to extrapolate what he meant by how he researched it. He slept with them.
I think you're quite wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Well,
Mr. Bard.
That's very good to know. And yes, while you're true that magic can do this, most people find it more respectful to be able to speak in their normal tongue, just like that. It's a sign of respect and of coming to them.
Like I pointed out at first, yeah, it's more respectful, but if worse comes to worse and we have to talk, we have ways of talking. So we can't discount that. We have to have every little thing open. Because while I would prefer to just burn them to ashes, we can't exactly do that.
Or why don't you just deal with it via interpreters? Nothing wrong with hiring an interpreter.
We have an interpreter, even.
Right. Well, we didn't have that previously, and well, previous attempts to buy a Gith's loyalty have not proved successful. They money is not really a motivating thing for them, we found.
Strength is.
Well,
And then Antigam, yes, of course, exactly. That is why we need to show a serious show of force. Ever since they arrived, we've done nothing but roll on our backs and take it.
Well, that's because we couldn't exactly fight them yet. We didn't have enough information.
Don't they have dragons?
That too.
Yes, they do have the red dragons with them.
those guys are really big and scary.
Yep.
Cannot
Why
be
can we
fooled
not
by fear.
do both of these things?
Of course.
What's a backup plan?
Why can we not meet diplomatically whilst planning aggressively?
That is a good idea, Ellen. That is why you are the smart one.
This is true.
Thank you, Chatter. You are the magical one, of course.
Oh gosh.
Terror kind of like, yes, well, the thing for me is that if we are not careful and that duplicity is discovered, then both plans can kind of be ruined, if you catch my meaning.
Not if we're
Use-
two different groups.
You plan your diplomacy, we plan our aggression.
We communicate, sure, but if we keep that communication practically non-existent, they should be able to execute both at the same time.
Well,
I would like to rephrase that last one. That execute. I prefer a different word.
Well, also, at the same time, I do feel like a diplomatic mission interrupted by an act of aggression may not go so well. Call it a hunch.
no, I don't think my avian friend was suggesting we attack them while we have diplomacy going on. I think he meant more along the lines if the diplomacy fails,
Yeah.
because that's a very, very good possibility. Though we already have had a run-in with a Gish who
Really?
who did respond to, and he does the air quotes thing, diplomacy.
I would say. Well, I will say that one of our ideas was to kidnap a Sarth, which, if you don't know, is, well, so 10 Gith Yankee troops are commanded by one Sarth. So they are not the highest up the ladder, but they would probably know more.
When you say kidnap,
I mean, find one and leave it in a place where it can't get out so we can ask some questions. We
as long as
can
saying
learn.
there's treatment of an enemy, and then there's making sure that they are at least food.
Of
They are
course,
given
of
food.
course. No,
And,
not
you know.
interrogate, but simply, I mean, we need to learn.
Yes.
I mean, the Gith the Yankee are not exactly open with their information about what they're doing.
Ellen,
and
do you not have any of your research material for them to study on the language?
Do I have that, Robert?
Yeah, sure, but I mean, it would take a long time to actually learn the full Githia language.
But nonetheless, it is a step.
I mean, I suppose mechanically I could teach people the language.
Right, but you would probably take like a few months to like teach a person Gith. Like, not only is it as a whole language, but it's also like a bit alien. Like, it doesn't follow normal language logic like on the material plane.
Yeah.
Aren't there isn't there some magic that lets people understand languages or something?
I have come across it. Yes, there is.
But we came to the agreement that it would be more respectful if we are going for a diplomatic mission to learn the language rather than magic.
I just want to point out contrary to this, saying if it's respectful for us to learn their language, isn't it not the same for them as well?
We have to pander a little bit.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it be worse if you accidentally said the wrong word or something and offended them? One time I was talking to a bear who was taking a nap in the middle of the woods, and I asked her if she could please move, but I accidentally said that her winter coat was dirty and gross, and she tried to maul me, and it wasn't a good experience. So,
Well,
Have you ever
well,
heard
she
the
didn't
expression "let
succeed.
sleeping bears lie"?
I
no.
thought it was sleeping dogs.
It's,
It's
Sleeping-
also bears.
Bears
Also
bears are worse than dogs.
Jean Fei, that's actually, yes, very applicable. There is a slight difference sometimes in the magical translation. There's a difference between having your words be understood and knowing the language, colloquialisms and manners of speech and such that simply magic doesn't quite get across sometimes. So knowing someone who knows the language, as Ellen apparently does, is invaluable, I'd say.
And about that Gish, by the way, I don't think we talked about this really, but he was fighting something right before he teleported into our loving arms.
And where was this?
In the Underdark, when we went to get the mushrooms, Taror.
Huh. Well,
He was fighting something. He was badly hurt. That's the only reason why we were able to do what we did. Which was intimidate him into submission, basically.
yeah, to our understanding, Gish are very high-ranking individuals and very powerful indeed. So I can only imagine that they must have been quite injured.
Yes.
And
not very good at staying invisible, though, I will say.
I see. Well, and it's odd because we know that the Yankees definitely do not send solo missions out. So
Yeah.
I can only assume that means that their companions were either the ones attacking or
Well,
dead.
From our interpretation, he teleported in to us. Said he was in a battle of some form.
Yeah.
Well, not sure what it could have been. I mean, they are, according to them, trying to eradicate the Mind Flayer threat, so it could be possible they were fighting that, but...
Have you seen these mind flayers? Oh,
Jean Fei, everyone's like, no, but Jean Fei, well, I mean, I haven't personally encountered one, but being a former denizen on the Underdark, I know about them, and I've sent.
There's
people
knowing
to-
about them and knowing story from for fact fiction. Are they real? Because
Oh,
it's
they are
seemingly
very real.
right, but have they been witnessed?
I have personally not eradicated a small den, but sent some of my people when I was in the Underdark to eradicate a small coven that was trying to create a new colony. They are a very
raises
real
her
thing.
hand. My mom said she encountered one before, and she would never lie to me.
I've seen a dead one.
Mind flares haven't been on the surface for, heck, more than 30 years. I definitely wouldn't have seen any of them.
I mean, try millions of years.
Oh,
Since
really?
their empire fell, they've stuck mostly to the Underdark. Yes.
That's a
Well,
long time.
And
How
I'm
much
saying
is it
that's why I'm here to find out what are these creatures, because humans don't know about them. And I'm saying we want to know why the Gith are doing this.
Well, I'm not an expert in Illithid law, but they were at one point essentially rulers of the multiverse. They had a vast spanning empire, but it was toppled by mostly the Gith, both the Githyanki and Gith Zerai, before they were two different races. They're just one race. In fact, that parent race, the name of it's been lost. Gith is the name of the like hero that led that rebellion. But since then, the Illithid have stuck to the deepest, darkest corners of the world, trying to survive, expand, and I can't really tell you what else. The strange thing about them is that they cannot reproduce without intelligent humanoid life. They consume brains for food, and their eggs have to reproduce inside of an intelligent creature's brain. So they've always lived somewhat near Underdark civilization.
Here's a moral quandary then. Do you believe it's a right to extinguish the life of a species?
Now that's the rub, isn't it? Now they're not inherently very good creatures. I mean, they're predatory by nature, and most Illithid
So is a bear.
Kill you on sight, right? But I mean, this is a bit philosophical for our issues right now, but yeah, I don't necessarily know if their life cycle deems them worthy of death. Although I will say, when I was ruling in the Underdark, I personally, if there was some by my town, which there were at one point, I would not abide it.
Oh, of course, they're saying if a bear comes into a village, you don't say, I'll come in and do you.
Right. But
still, the idea of a Gith wiping out an entire species is quite...
Yes, well, that seems to be their primary goal here.
But at the same time, I think it's a little unfair for them to just think that they're the only people capable of, protecting the world against the Gith. I mean, we were doing, I assume, we're doing fine in the Underdark for a while. I mean, there's entire civilizations that lived down there and prospered that are now, forced up here. So that's sort of my take on the whole situation. It's really just not their place to say.
I couldn't agree more, and I think the problem is that they're not coming from a protector stance. They are, honestly, if I'm going to be blunt, I don't think they could give two fucks about us. I think they are concerned only with their primary goal.
Yeah, well, my big issue with the Gith is that they are really not doing, for lack of a better term, they're not doing a good job. They're fucking... We were doing fine from what I can tell before the Gith. We will do fine after the Gith. The only issue we're having is when the Gith are here. So I don't know if that seems just as cut and dry to anyone else, but the Gith gone equals back to normal-ish.
So to cut it short, this is a discussion to repel the Gith out of the Underdark once more, so that you can take your own homes. Correct?
And Halia kind of interrupts. I think I should say my piece. So you're talking about going back to how the way things were after the Gith leave, but as much as we should address what the Gith are doing and all that such thing, I think what we should be doing right now is figuring out what to do with the lot we've been dealt. There's a lot of different people who want to do something. Some of them more well-intentioned than others, I'm sure you've met. But I think finding those people, banding together, and I don't want to speak too ill of the man, but the current ruler of the city is not doing a great job of prospering right now. And
So starting off small.
As much as I would love to take the Gith down all at once, I don't know how realistic it is, and I feel like this is my 2 cents, but focusing on the city, making it a place where people can live together and prosper, and then tackling that problem.
Well, the problem with that at the moment is that there's too many people, there's not enough food, and there's not enough resources. That is the primary problem at the moment for you.
A lot of that is because a lot of the resources from the Underdark are cut off. Like, I'm assuming that there was a lot of trade and that was between the two, from the ground and above. And
Precisely.
A lot of those resources are being cut off right now without anyone down there to actually...
So what's really need to be done is that some form of diplomatic tie needs to be established to allow access to resources for food and such in the dark by collection by Gith, or by allowing by right, or by giving by the Gith to allow people to venture into, say, secured areas, places that have already been searched. That would probably be the best way of doing it.
Yes. And my other goal was to have more allies within city. I mean, if we truly wish to supplant the Gith, I don't think a dozen people is quite going to cut it, you know. So if we could get in some of these groups' good graces by having a more just rule, and then turn our attention to the Gith, I believe that's our best way to go.
Right.
So you want
for
to
now
topple
recruiting
the-
mission. We need supporters to take down an emperor. We can't, as you said, the 12 of us cannot take an emperor down. And we
Right.
could, but it wouldn't be peaceful, if you will.
I will agree with you there.
So, what idea do you have for us to do exactly so that we can help you?
I think Shelly kind of pipes up at this point. She's been sticking kind of quiet. Oh, well, okay. So we've got lots of different ideas. So if we wanna talk to people, the fellows, I don't know how much you know about that, but they've been doing a good amount to try and help the people of the Underquarter, although at a profit. They're not altruists, but if we could possibly convince them that the town would be better if they helped us, they may be able to follow along. Let's see here. The upper quarter is mostly loyal to the Duke, and so there's not really a ton of people that we really know of that we could bring along. I mean, this group here is a lot of the influential people that are really opposed to how things are right now. But there's also, I know, a lot of groups in the Underquarter as well that are influential and could do something. But in terms of other things, I mean, if we could capture a Sarth, a Githyanki Sarth, and find things out, that could be valuable. Also, I know that there's talk. So there was a wizard that lived in the mansions just outside the outside the city, and so they haven't come out or done anything. And they used to be like you could go and buy scrolls and stuff, but they haven't been open for business. Like, it's just been locked and dark for a long time. So going to see if they're okay, and if they're not, well, so as you know, the Gith fly, so maybe they would have in their mansion like something that could get us up there, either to attack or to talk. That would either way could be useful.
Okay. Okay. We
yeah.
have lots of options.
Yeah.
1 second. Everybody huddle. Okay, so
What?
huddle.
Just
Like-
what was that last idea that Shelley said? Sorry.
There's an old with like a wizard's mansion that's has gone quiet. So going to see if they're still alive, if they are, recruiting them or getting their help, and if they're not, looting them for useful magic items, such as something that can maybe let you fly up to the Yankee ships.
Okay.
Flying isn't really a problem here.
Right.
All right. So Anja's gonna
For one
call
of
for
you.
a huddle, a team huddle, and she's like, "What do we want to do, guys? Do we want to talk to the fellows? Do we want to go kidnap somebody, or do we want to go check on this wizard?"
I will point out you also know about the Fangs of Keptolo. You could go talk to your mom's old gang, see if they want to
That's
join
right.
in.
Do we want to go talk to the Fangs? Do we want to go talk to
I don't know.
Let's go with Wizard. I like the Wizard. It sounds like
I was about to say, I don't know about you guys, but we could do a few things at once. Like, we're not expecting to fight anyone if we go and talk to the fellows or the Fangs, right?
So,
well, we could possibly fight if we talk to the fellows. They can be a little bit grouchy.
if a group of one or two of us is cut off, even by a single low-ranking Gith, I don't think we would be able to fight even lower-ranking Giths just on our own. So I do not think it's a good idea to split apart.
Oh no, I'm not talking about. We'd be in the city. We're not doing anything illegal. We're just going to talk to some people. I'm not saying we go and capture the Sarth by ourselves or go to the wizard's mansion by ourselves, but splitting
do we really need to capture? Could we not just persuade one?
They don't do persuasion.
Maybe we should leave that option.
Everybody has their price.
On the back. Well, they did say that they didn't do very well with money.
But it didn't have to be money. It could be some form of other gain.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, so we had one vote for Wizard. I also vote for Wizard. Does anybody else? So, is there another vote? Raise your hand.
We should bear in mind as well. Is it Halia or Talia? Is it Halia? Halia mentioned that the city requires food. Perhaps gaining the trust of the common folk would be important.
That won't
to
matter
lend
the
into our
fact that
cause.
there isn't enough resources, nonetheless.
We did just do it.
I think there is only not enough resources, as you said, Luminos, because the Gith take them all.
No, because they have no access to it. Because saying there's too many people in this city to sustain them.
Then the wizard sounds like a perfect idea.
Yeah. Well, what we should do is we should go check out the wizard and then also steal some food from the surrounding countryside.
Whoa.
Acquisition.
Acquisition some food from the surrounding countryside.
Borrow and then replace when we have the resources to do so. With
Exactly.
An IOU, as they say. You
Maybe
can hold
in the
us to
form
it,
of
Lumi.
a piece of paper that
Perhaps
represents
a trade treaty with the neighboring farmers of some form.
Oh, okay. We could think about that.
I don't know how much worth we're going to get from if our goal is to gain the trust of friends and people in the city, then I don't know how much this going to this wizard's mansion will help us.
Neither do I, but apparently that's one of our choices.
Well, you're the one who suggested it, Lumi.
Yeah, because I didn't fancy capturing a gift or talking to those people.
Oh.
I still think we should at least talk to one of the groups before we leave. Get an idea of, because I assume they're not going to help us for free, get an idea of what we need to do to convince them to help us, and maybe do it on the way or on the way back.
Well,
Something efficient.
do have access to one of those groups fairly easily.
I would make a suggestion. Any groups we attempt to persuade to join us will be significantly more likely to do so for a significantly lower price if they have our common enemy. The best way to do that is to provoke the Gith in some manner.
Well, I would like to point out that you don't have to provoke the Gith to convince the Fangs that they don't like them. We are made of drow.
Well, yeah.
But that is
Right.
That is
I think Anja will be a good what should I say, some form of ambassador with the Drow, with the Fangs, the fact that they seem to be very hesitant to talk to anyone else other than Drow at the moment.
We could do that. Well, how about we do this? This sounds like a great plan, family. I would also like Chatter's input, though. I don't want to leave Chatter out. Chatter hasn't had any input. But I was thinking that on the way out, we make another stop to talk to my old gang, or my mom's old gang, on the way out to the Wizards. How does that sound?
I think going
wizard?
to see the wizard is a good idea.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Yes,
Wait, no.
I think as long as we talk to the fellows or something like that on the way out, then I agree with going to the Wizards. Also, I would be back.
I just think that we should try to make as few people mad at us as possible.
That's always
would probably
a great
be
idea.
good. Yeah. So
The
maybe
best reason to visit this wizard would be, even if we don't get their assistance and they are dead, financially, we could find lots of magical trinkets. And gold is very persuasive for some groups. Maybe not the gift, but perhaps these fellows that we need to get the help of. Or perhaps the fangs.
I just want to point out, saying, if troves are money in there, I think that might be best actually be given to that of Hallie and the small council, because the fact that could actually be use for resources with other empires and states. The fact that can be used for money.
Exactly.
I mean, not money. I mean, food.
Money is incredibly useful.
Well,
whether we use the trinkets we find or whether we sell them. I'm sure we'll find
most
something
people
of
say
use.
religion makes the world move, but we all know it's money.
All right. So
But Chatter is definitely right. We should try not to antagonize too many people.
Oh yes, they're saying
Until we at least
against us, let alone everything else.
Exactly. Until we are powerful enough. Is that the right word to be antagonizing people?
Until we're confident enough, I would say.
So, should we go see the wizard first and then use whatever we find there to possibly use to convince? Because I'm actually pretty confident in my fellow people.
We haven't left the city yet. Let's do one thing. We'll talk to the Fang. Well, Onja, you will spearhead that for us, because being half drow, you be a shoe-in for us, as well as then after speaking to them, we'll then carry on outside the city and then head towards the wizard. How's that sound?
And then we can use possible resources there to maybe convince the fellows to help us after when we come back into the city.
Possibly. It would help. We might find something that might help us, being the wizard or whatever's there, as well as we may, if anything's large, significant monetary gains, could be possibly used by the council for resources for the city.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's do that as we come out of the huddle, and turn to the gang.
Like all of them
I mean,
are just
we weren't quiet about it.
Yeah. So got a plan then?
I think so. So I have connections to the Fang, the gang, and I could see if they would like to join the cause of letting everybody be wherever they want to be, and then we're gonna go check on your wizard.
Jean-Fei, the drow lady, will just say, well, I will just say that if you wish to gain their aid, I doubt the subtlety and more diplomatic approach will be their cup of tea, shall we say. But, war makes strange bedfellows of us all, I suppose.
Okay.
Also, she looks to Shelly. Oh, yeah. Also, if the wizard is still alive and wants to help or needs convincing, I've been using a lot of my money to help with food and supplies and stuff, but I can requisition some for items or things to help. So if that's an issue, you can come back and let me know, and we'll figure something out.
Later, that'd be nice. I'm
Lovely.
joking.
Okay, then.
All right, off we go then.
All right, we have a plan.
All right.
Plans.
So you're gonna go back to the Spider's Teat, the biker
yeah,
bar.
that's where. That's our first stop out
All
of the
right.
city. Is the
Oh, I'm
Spider's
curious.
Teat.
I'll be outside.
Yeah.
Well,
So
why
again,
don't you come inside? I can introduce you to some people.
I'm not a big fan of spiders.
well, most
You
of them are
know-
outside.
You know, Anja,
Yeah, I'll be across the road.
when we go to talk to the drow, maybe, you know, I could turn into a spider and it'll make you seem even more drow-like and convincing. I'll pretend to be your pet.
I don't. I mean, I think that's very nice and all, but they do know me and they know my mom, and I have a confession to make. Spiders kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. I give them their space, but
Whoa.
yeah, it's just that as a child, I was sleeping one day and I woke up and one of them, you know how sometimes spider get inside of your mouth when you're sleeping?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was crawling out of my mouth, and I've been a little that's why I decided on possums.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah, I still dream about it. It wasn't a pleasant experience.
One time I rescued a spider from a log in the middle of a river, and I had to use my arms to swim, so I put the spider in my mouth. And then I swam to the shore and I let him free.
Okay, that's very nice, Shatter.
I guess what I'm trying to say is a spider in the mouth isn't always a bad thing. But I understand why you'd be scared. And he just pats her on the head.
Thanks. But yes, I can. Who would like to come inside with me to talk? Apparently, Lumi doesn't want to.
Nope.
I'll go with you. Why not?
That's right.
Never been
you
to this
haven't
place
been
before.
in there before.
Those two. All right. So 3 of you. I'm guessing
Good
Spider's
luck.
gonna stay by the spiders and talk to them.
Yes.
Riveting conversations, I'm sure. All right.
I'm sure
So,
they
yeah.
are.
we'll weave a nice conversational web.
So yeah, you three walk in, and again, well, it's the middle of the day, so it's not quite as crowded. There's a primarily drow, but there's also a lot of Duragar and deep gnomes in here. You know that the Fangs aren't like exclusively drow, just primarily drow. And you do see Kalnim, the current leader, sitting at the bar again. And even though it's the middle of the day, lots of drinking, like heavy, like really like heavy, like resonant, like almost like the drums from last night, but just like amped up to 11. Like there's like 3 players just like just like playing, just like really banging it out. And then,
Not my thing.
and then yeah, Kalnim is sitting at kind of like at the same kind of booth with a few other like bodyguard type looking guys.
I will approach him enthusiastically as I normally do.
Hey, come for another round, huh?
Maybe later. I am still recovering. Like, I'm very good at putting on makeup, but I had quite the night last night.
Oh, there we go.
There was a dancing badger and everything.
Your mother's daughter, indeed. I see. All right.
She danced with badgers. Oh, okay. We're not talking about this. Anyway, and I'm actually going to give him some of this gold that I earned. I'm gonna give him a total of 25, and be like, here is for your help, because we were successful in our with the information that you provided us with.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yes, that's actually something that I would like to possibly talk to you about.
And he kind of like like the like jovial, like, oh, we're having fun, like kind of like, okay, and like he becomes more serious.
Maybe just you, if that's okay.
Sure. Do your kind of looks at you two, Era and Ellen. Friends, are they coming as well?
Yes, we're
you?
friends.
Only if you're comfortable with their presence, but if it's okay, I mean, if you want to have 2 people with you too, that's fine. Of your most trusted people, I wouldn't mind that either.
No offense, but I'm not scared. This is
Okay.
my bar, and
It's true. I just wanted to leave the option on there because that's just the way I was raised.
why don't we go to the back room? Why don't we go to the back room?
Okay, we're going to the back, guys. Come on.
So he leads you to like what appears to be like an office space. Not like well kept. Does look like it's been partied in recently. There's like some open things of booze and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's relatively organized, and he kind of sits down at like the desk and kind of like has some chairs pulled up. So, what is it you wanted to talk about?
Well, we've sort of been recruited, in sort of balancing out the city again. And she's gonna look at Ellen and Era, like, looking for, like, approval of, like, that's good words, right? Like, those are good words to use.
Ellen will just nod gently.
Yeah. And, well, these people that have, that wanted help with feeding the population, which includes our people, they're sort of looking to tip the scales, so to say, and they could use maybe some help. And I was wondering if you would be interested in possibly talking to some of these people with what they need help with.
I mean, so is it your intention for us to... What kind of assistance are they asking for? I suppose I need to know.
There's a lot of things that they need. Mostly people with like-minded attitudes towards our current overlords, so to say.
Okay.
They could probably explain it to you a little better if you were willing to talk to them yourselves, but they, and I sort of motion to the outside. It's not very nice out there for most people, and I mean, we don't always like nice things, but it would kind of be nice if everyone got to live at least where they want to live or supposed to live and had access to resources. And I was just wondering if that was something that you were interested in.
Well,
I could arrange a meeting.
Well, I suppose a meeting would not be remiss, but, well, talk is cheap, to be quite honest.
Yes.
And if I'm going to be revolting, I need some sort of guarantee, and I need to know that I'm not doing it alone, and I need to know that it's for the good of our people.
I was fairly confident in their explanation for the good of our people. It's definitely better than nothing, which is what the current human in charge of everything is giving us.
For sure. And, supplanting a tyrant is always good, but I would need some sort of guarantee from them. And I suppose this is something I could talk with them about in person, but I would need some sort of guarantee other than just, we're going to get rid of one asshole, because replacing an asshole with an asshole doesn't do me any good.
Yes, of course. I absolutely agree with that. But that's, I don't have much say so in the guaranteeness. I'm just here to mediate the possibility if that is something that you're interested in getting involved with. And if you're not, that's perfectly okay. And if you talk to them and you decide you're not, that's perfectly okay too. We can just forget this happened.
Ellen's going to take out a piece of parchment, a bottle of ink, and a quill, and address Kelvin?
Kelman.
What kind of terms would you wish for? I can make a few notes now and maybe take a preliminary message to our new associates and relay what you want, and try to at least give them some idea before the meeting, and they can, obviously talk about what is capable of in their hands to give you in terms of a guarantee.
Well, this is a bit out of the blue, but really, what I'm talking about is I need to know that we're not going to be ruled by the same kind of people that are ruling us now. We need to determine our own laws and make sure that we have a say. So really, I'm saying that me or another drow with the good intentions of all these poor displaced people are part of the government, really.
And would you feel that you would want to rule a position like this?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be risking life and limb, I don't think it's unreasonable.
I absolutely agree. Death is so final, and life is full of possibilities. So I can see why you would want something substantial for your cause.
Well, I mean, we here are not opposed to dying if it's in a blaze of glory, but that doesn't mean that you can't be smart about your risks.
I absolutely agree. I'm sure they would write songs and tales about the way in which you might fight or die. But life is so much better when you can do so much more of that. I'm going to take down note down these kind of things that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Are we going to start a democratic government?
Who knows? Now, Alja, I'm glad you came back. Now, he kind of takes the pouch of gold you gave him back. I know you were well-intentioned. He kind of sets it back. But I will say my favor I had in mind was less money and more something. And I think there's a good way for us to kill two bats with one stone.
Oh, please don't mention killing small animals around my large firebulk friend. He'd be very upset, but okay.
All right. Well, now, I don't know what this group is that you found yourself in, but if we're going to be supplanting the current Duke, we will need force. We will need people. So something to prove that we're not going to be just the only ones fighting would be nice. So that at the very least, you and your company can get things done. It would be appreciated. And I think I have just the thing. Now, I think you all have heard at least of the Seldarine's Edge. Which
out
is
of characterly, please remind me.
Yes, out of character. That's the group of drow races who want to go back to sacrificing people to Lolth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know why, but they've recently taken a very large interest into a warehouse. They've started posting more guards around it. It's become a little bit of a hub. And, if somebody were to take whatever valuable out of that warehouse and burn it down, I don't think anyone would miss them.
So you would like to weaken the strength of this other drow company that is not so nice as you, and so that you can have a little bit more leeway in this town and a little bit more power for when you talk to this group of people that I would like to introduce you to.
Of course, and whatever they have in that warehouse is obviously very valuable to them, and I bet you even just the satisfaction of taking it from them is so much more valuable to me.
Okay.
Can't put a price on that kind of satisfaction.
I'm gonna call Era and Elin into another group huddle. Like, okay, what do you guys think?
Hang on. I'm thinking out of character. That, like, I don't know whether we want to agree to, like, what is essentially a not so lawful task when there are definitely people. Well, yeah, okay, sure. To put it bluntly, a gang war, when there are definitely people, I'm sure, in our party that would definitely not want us to do that. I don't know. I feel like these are your family, Anya. I think I will defer to what you think is the best course of action. You know them well, and you're very close to them.
Well, I definitely would like to have them on my side and not against me. So there is that. My other thing is, as far as this non-lawful thing, sorry, what was the group again?
Seldarine's Edge.
Seldarine's Edge is just, they're not very good themselves, and I think that, honestly, I don't think Alexandra would have an issue. Celadrine's Edge, thank you, would have an issue with possibly, if it means getting this group on our side. I think he'd be the easy one. Maybe Chatter and Lumi would be the hard ones to convince, but I don't think Pelor is very friendly with Loth, so I think we could use that to our advantage. Era, what do you think?
There's no reason to obey the laws of such a corrupt nation as the one we're currently in, and this group will clearly provide a distinct benefit to us.
Okay.
There's no reason
He
to...
makes a good point.
I nod, and I get back from the huddle, and I turn back, to this guy, and I give him like 2 thumbs up. All right, we'll take care of this warehouse problem for you, friend.
Wonderful. He kind of like gives you a rough sketch of where it is. I don't think this is that time sensitive. I'm sure you have other things to do, but as soon as you get it done, I'm sure I'll hear about it. And just come bring me. I just like to know what is valuable, and then we can negotiate about who gets it and how we split it up. But you'll obviously be able to keep most of the valuables for doing this.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. And I give a bow, and I was like, "This is so exciting! It's an adventure."
And you sure you didn't want to drink?
Oh man, I really could use an aspirin, to be honest, but I'm trying very hard to.
You know the way to get around that. Just never stop drinking. All right.
I don't know if my liver can handle that, but thank you so
Listen,
much.
we put a little bit of spider venom in some of it. It's really good. It's got a kick.
And it's okay.
That does not sound like a good idea, but sure.
Remember,
Sure you want one?
I'm only half. I'm only half of that, so and I'm just gonna leave.
You'll have to give me the recipe one day. And like they start walking out.
Yeah. All right. Till we see you again.
Yes, we will. And I'm gonna roll up all this documentation. I'm gonna put it in my Hello Kitty satchel. And like. And go reacquaint with the people outside. Well, they will agree to meet with our dancing badger friends. we just have to complete a favor for them first.
To which Ellen goes, so who wants to get involved in a gang war?
No.
What? Gang war.
Oh, don't worry, we're just gonna borrow a few items from some people for Calvin. Don't worry, it's fine. We've got some new friends in the drow, and they're so great and joyful and entertaining. Oh, you should meet them, Luminos. You love them. Except the spiders, they're really strange and creepy.
I love spiders.
I think
Why are we
Ellen
getting
got
involved
hit.
in a gang war?
I think
We're
Ellen
here
got
to-
hit by some of the second.
Who said gang war? Don't be
You did.
ridiculous.
It's
Right.
not
It's a
necessarily.
turn of phrase.
It's not necessarily a gang war, Lumi. It's more.
What is it then?
Think of it as the people.
No. When you say think it as, that means you want me to interpret it a different way, but he's already said what it is. It's a gang war.
He was being facetious.
He doesn't look like it.
Ellen.
Oh, can I roll deception?
Roll for
With that
facetiousness.
smug
I'm going to
face.
give you disadvantage because of how blunt you were at the beginning, but yes, you may roll deception to try and save face. And
And I get insight.
yeah, you get insight. Okay, I will. So what I'll say is, all three of them kind of have a bit of like reddish eyes, as if like there may be just a little contact high from just being in that bar for a bit. Because let me tell you what, there were a lot of like hookahs and stuff going off. So you probably like you're still like this is probably not great, but also he's probably I don't know, maybe he's just like.
Are you high?
Absolutely.
Yes, what's. Oh. Yeah, he. Can I like do a medicine check to see if he looks high?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Chatter would know. Chatter.
Yeah.
Chatter knows that shit.
Very familiar with
Oh
the,
my
the
God.
jokes.
Oh yeah, he's so high. Oh my god, he's like the highest person.
He's the most high.
Oh, he is high as a kite.
I'm gonna like walk over to Chatter and like wrap my arm as high up as I can and be like, I am Chatter and you're quite high up there. It's great. We're high together.
We are high. You know who's the highest of all? And he points at Era.
And I'm gonna point.
He's definitely high.
I'm
Right.
gonna turn back to Luminous, and I'm
He's
like,
high. High people generally don't lie. They usually say what's on their head, on their mind, and he just blurted it out.
Lumi, how does Pelor feel about Loth?
Well, when it comes to Loth, pretty much no one likes her.
Right. Exactly.
Well, some people like
how would it be in your god's approval to possibly lessen some of the power that the followers of Loth have on this city?
It depends on it is not a crime to follow a god. It's the acts that they do that define punishment.
Well, what if they're hoarding resources that could benefit the people of this town?
They are specifically hoarding. Can you elaborate?
Well, there's a warehouse with some things inside of it that we are told that are quite valuable and useful. And
There's been having things that are valuable and useful, and then there's hoarding. What are they hoarding?
I was not
Is it
told
food? Is it water?
specifically. I was told to investigate, and if it is valuable and if it is a hoard, to requisition it to make sure that they are no longer hoarding it. Would that be something that?
No, because you haven't elaborated what they are hoarding.
Well, that's the whole thing. We're going to investigate to see what they're hoarding.
And we would not take all of it. We would merely take all
By
of
the
it. that
sounds
they
of
do
it,
not need.
you're robbing.
We're not.
Only a little bit. We're not robbing something they didn't already rob.
But it's for a good cause.
There's a cause, and then there's doing evil for what?
Well, is it evil to take stuff from evil people?
What is evil?
Are they evil? It's, as I said, it's not worshiping God does not make them evil. It's the acts that they do makes them evil.
So, like Hope said, would we know, like in character, that they sacrifice people? This group.
So, I mean, just a general knowledge of Lolth. I mean, it like is possible, like in the worship of Lolth, like sacrificing non-drow people is like a thing, but you don't know like how deep into the Lolth worship they are. I mean, there are things you can infer from like their stances on like in the bar and just from general knowledge, but you don't have any like actual proof of like how they worship Lolth and what they do.
Who are we robbing? Who are we robbing? What is this name of this gang we're robbing?
Celadrin's Edge.
Right. So the racist people who want to reenact.
Yes.
Full. Okay. Why didn't you say that from the start?
I just wanted to. I'm sorry.
You did a good job, Anja.
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. Okay. Now they're saying.
Don't worry, everyone. It's okay. One day we'll find it. The balance between whom we wish to be and whom we need to be.
I put my finger to his forehead, and I just say,
That must be so good.
And I pretend to like. I stop pretending. Like, oh, I feel so much better, Louis. You're the best. You've cured me. Oh my God! Don't go in there. They're all crazy.
Alex, do you oppose to stomping out a warehouse? We don't have to do it right now. We can still.
No, I do not.
Okay. Are you okay?
I do not oppose.
Okay.
Sorry.
We don't have to do it right now. There's no time limit on this task, so we could still go investigate our wizard first, and then on our way back, we could do this task for the
Depends.
things.
What's is it 6 and 2 3s? If it's along the way, may as well do it. But depends on if it's on the other side of the town when we're going to the wizard that way. Then yeah. So if we had give us a map. Do we know where the warehouse is?
I'm gonna pull out my stuff, and is it on the way to the wizards?
I'll say it's not on the way. It's just kind of like because the wizard house is more on the outskirts of the old city, so it's kind of like just outside of the like newer part of the newer under district part of the city, whereas this one is like more deeper into the under district.
So,
Right, so it's out of the way. Okay, so we'll decide.
How would your person that you talked to in there? I mean, if we did it right away, would that make them feel better about us? To show that like we actually are serious about it? I don't know.
Well, he did say there was no time constraints. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chatter. I just think that he just doesn't really like these people, and he just kind of wants to stick it to them really good.
Oh. Stick it to the mans.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, I have a back.
Can I roll perception on this?
I don't know how stealthy they're actually being.
I'm whispering.
Okay.
He
Then I
actually
guess-
leaned down to try and listen.
Then I guess perception.
Can we do it against stealth?
Yeah, it's stealth.
Cool.
Oh yeah, you don't have to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to go.
Oh! Chatter? Give me all of it. Give me all
Oh,
of
the
it.
dice!
Oh my goodness.
Wait. We're only doing this because he just doesn't like him.
I mean, do you like cloth?
No,
Like
of course
so.
I don't. I already pointed out. Not many
I'm
people.
just
like
saying, it's like hitting two bats with one stone. I'm so sorry, Chatter. I didn't mean it's like hitting two stones with one stone. We gain a potential ally by also helping thwart someone that likes that isn't great, the racist. It helps thwart the racist, and it's just we've already agreed to do this. Let's go see the wizard, and she just starts walking.
What about that?
Chatter runs after her.
What about?
There's no bats, I promise.
All this debate
have a
is
chat
like,
about
oh, well,
this.
it doesn't matter. We already agreed. Ha.
We're having a chat about this, Anja.
I
We're gonna
promise
have-
we'll talk
You
about
lied
it
to
after
me.
this, wizard.
You lied to me.
I didn't lie to you. I just chose when to tell you the truth.
That's a mission. That's still a lie.
Oh.
No, it isn't. Not at all.
Yes, a mission of truth is a
I'm
lie.
very sorry. Where she's
Like
just gone to
my
this
ambition.
wizard's house
During
now.
during this long debate about the nature of truth and lies, you eventually leave the city, like the full like undercarter part as well, and you come upon this what was probably once elaborately decorated mansion. It's a bit overgrown, with like spider webs in the windows a bit, and the window like it's strange. Like the actual physical building is immaculate, right? As if it's been like this forever. But there's stuff growing, like the ivy is growing overgrown, and there's like spider webs to the point where I think you can figure out like the house has magically made itself clean, but that doesn't help with stuff like growing over the building. And yeah, it's like just this like little 2-story little mansion, with a large like very it's this strange like white wood with purple veins door, and like a large knocker, and all the windows seem to have the drapes closed as well.
Maybe someone who's not squishy should knock this door.
So you said that there's ivy growing on the
Yeah,
building?
there's lots of ivy and spider webs and just like
Oh.
general signs of disrepair, except for the building's like actual walls and
Right.
structure.
So Chatter's going to hear Anja say that and walk up to the ivy on the side of the building and be like,
Hello. How's it hanging? Does anybody live here?
he asks the ivy.
Yeah. Now I know your ability lets you talk to plants and animals, but I don't think it lets them talk back to you, right? Unless you
It
cast
lets
speak with
them-
plants.
It hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah.
Because I can I think it's either I can understand their basic
You can
very
understand the
basic-
feelings, I believe.
Yeah. Like I think it hold on, let me double check because I think it's very basic
Right. Well, 'cause
ideas.
you have like 2 different things you're getting this from too, for being a furbolg and a
Shepherd druid.
shepherd druid.
Yeah.
But I think that's for animals. For plants, I believe the way it is you have to like be able to cast a spell.
Okay. So yeah, so I will do that, and I will because it also says I have no special ability to understand them in return, but I have advantage on charisma checks to influence them.
Mhm.
So I will spend one of my spell slots and cast speak with plants.
Okay.
So he'll do that and say
Sounds
that
good.
same thing.
Okay. Yeah, if you cast speak with plants, you see at first the plants kind of like, oh, no one's talked with us for a long time.
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Ah.
My friends and I are here to meet with a wizard. Does the wizard live here still?
Well, I don't know what kind of plant a wizard is, but there's been no people coming in or out of this place for a long time.
Oh, so nobody has come by recently?
Oh, people come by like you, but nobody's gone in or out.
Oh,
We
Is
like it. Nobody's been cutting us down.
well, if they do, I will make sure. If they try, I will make sure that they have a very difficult time. Well, thank you. I might have a couple more questions for you. You just see him like, so he's talking to the plants. He's sort of like interpretive moving kind of thing. Like he's like waving around and you just like wind sounds. And then he turns and he looks at everybody else. So the ivy says that nobody's come or gone from here for a very, very long time.
The ivy.
Does the ivy know? Was there any sounds? Can they hear if there's anyone still inside or anything?
That's a good question. He turns back to the ivy. So you grow all over the walls and around the windows. Do you know if there's anybody or anything inside?
Mm-hmm. We don't grow inside.
Hmm. Can you sense anything moving inside? Through the wall? Any movement or sound?
Hmm. I don't believe so.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm.
It says they say that they're not sure. They don't believe so. Is it dangerous to go inside, Ivy? Do you know? Has anybody tried to go inside?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you've been very
They
helpful.
come up to the door and then they leave at some point.
They leave at some point. But they don't go inside?
We just make sure they aren't trying to cut us down.
Oh, I understand. Well, thank you. And so Chatter turns back to the party and says that people come up to the door and then eventually they leave.
That's
they said-
generally how buildings work, yes.
But they also said that nobody's come or gone inside for a very long time.
What's a long time to a plant?
That's a good question. They don't really have a concept of time, I don't think. How many seasons, Ivy, has it been, would you say?
At least
Photosynthesis sounds.
At least 2 seasons.
At least 2 seasons. It says 2 seasons.
So 6-ish months, maybe?
Something like that.
I mean, I would like to say sometimes wizards just sort of like to, they have the ability to go in and out of buildings without actually using doors. So there is that possibility.
They do.
They also have the possibility of usually blowing themselves up as fireballs.
I think
Oh,
that's
that
a
sounds very
sorcerer,
good.
actually, but yes.
I mean, we can at least try, but I mean, if nothing else is obvious, there's probably some very powerful magics here.
I'm gonna use the knocker.
And then, like, as soon as the ringing of the knocker stops, hello, welcome to the Benbound Estate. This is an. Would you like to enter with an appointment?
Yes.
Please, and then a small, like, little slot pops out of the door. Please submit appointment.
Can we have an emergency appointment?
Welcome
gonna
to the Benbound Estate.
Write down the word appointment on a piece of parchment and tear it off and pass it to the thing.
Boom. And like opens back up, and there's just the piece of paper again.
I'm gonna
You
pick
should
it up.
schedule for the appointment to be within the next 5 minutes.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write down appointment in 1 minute and then pass the paper.
The Benbound Estate apologizes, for this time does not work for the current owner of the estate. Please schedule for a later time.
Schedule it in 5 minutes.
I'm gonna try that.
The Benbound Estate apologizes, as it does not work for the current owner of the estate. Please try for a later time.
I'm gonna try the door, like to open it.
I mean, it's closed. Like, it appears like a locked door, like any other good front
None
door.
of us are rogues.
What if we knock it down?
I like this idea.
And then it turns to Alex.
I mean,
Who's
I
snoring?
I can charge the door with my head.
I have an idea. One sec.
We don't want to hurt you.
Oh no, my head is very hard.
I'm gonna hit the knocker.
Welcome to the Benbound Estate. Do you have an appointment?
This is the constabulary. We have reason to believe that a suspicious activity is happening inside. We need entry.
Please input your appointment.
Constabulary.
Tell them we have a warrant.
Please input your appointment.
Constabulary.
Appointment.
Oh, fuck it. Hack it.
All right, so who's hacking? Is it just Luminos hacking the door, or is it just?
When I see Luminos hacking,
Alexander's gonna step in front of the door
Mhm.
and just motion for Luminos and Era to back up. Put his shield out in front of him.
Let Lumi whack the door. You guys do it at the same time in unison.
I was gonna have him jump, fall in line with me and just slam the door together with our shields. So we both have
I'm
shields.
gonna back up out of the way.
All right. You want to do the shield, but you want to do a double bash. Okay.
Yeah. On 3.
We'll DP this door. Okay.
Stands as far back as possible. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, if we want to just knock down a wizard's door, that's a great idea.
Yeah, go. Both of you make an athletics check for me.
And Alexander counts down 3, 2, and boom. Hey, what? Why didn't you roll, fucking piece of shit?
Jesus Christ.
That's
Oh yeah, no. So I think the way it is, Alexander's on like the hinge side, turns out, and just almost like with together, you just blast through the door, and it's gone. Like there's no more door anymore. And
You're supposed to do on 3, not after 3.
Yeah,
3 or
and
go?
and so now there's a wide open doorway.
Here's your appointment.
Hello.
and I think the closing shot is we get like a shot from inside the house. Like it's dusty and there's just like nobody, no movement, and then just like this slam and this burst of sunlight into the room, and then thank you for following up with your appointment to the Benbound Estate. Enjoy your stay. And that's where we'll end for this week.
Amazing.
okay, sure.
Oh my god.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Beautiful.
Okay. I have to go before I literally collapse. Do not mind
Okay,
me.
go ahead and do your outro then,
kinda tired.
because your go ahead.
Okay.
We'll do real quick, guys, outros.
I am Robert Forge King. Find me on Discord. Find me on Gamer Realm. I'm going to go collapse and get an hour of sleep before work now. Goodbye.
Just leave your cam on for a hot second, please. I don't have to
Okay,
do it
cam will be
forever.
on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ember, for joining us. Please sleep well. Hope.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Hope from She Games, He Games. We have a variety stream. We stream art, video games, Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you all so much again for having me. I'm really enjoying this campaign. And yeah.
Thank you so much. Ash.
Hi, I'm Luminos D, also known as Ash. I'm a variety streamer on Twitter, Twitch. You can also find me on Twitter under the same handle. And thank you so much for everyone having me here once more.
Awesome sauce. Adam.
Hello, my name is Adam. You can find me on alt F4_gaming on Twitch and Twitter. The streams are non-existent at the moment as I'm in between jobs trying to sort out a schedule. Of course, you can find me here with these wonderful people playing an amazing game of D&D. I had an exceptional time this week. Thank you, everyone, and I look forward to it in the future.
Thank you so much. Omega.
I'm Omega. I exist on Discord. I still don't have a Twitter.
You
Or
do
a
have
face-
a Twitch.
I technically have a Twitch account. This is correct. It's never going to have any content on it. Don't find
It's
it.
slowly
You
getting
have a
on the internet.
You have a Twitch the way I have an Instagram. I see how it is.
Exactly.
Beautiful. And Robert.
Hey, I'm Robert the GM. You can find me on Discord in both Adam and Val's channel, and also on Twitter at RobBRollin. This was. Whew, I was not ready for this session. Let me tell you what. This was awesome. So I'm super excited to continue to do this. So much fun.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming for this fantastic show. We will see you again next week for Revenge of the Gith. There is no show this Sunday or Monday, so a whole week. But you can tune into this channel for some RPG funds. My name is Val. I tend to play video games here as well. when I'm not bored. You can also catch me at the RPG Lab on Thursday mornings. So yeah, and with that, let's just give somebody a quick raid since there's a few of us here.
Raid.
Let's see what my following. I should have been looking at this like an hour ago to see who to do this, and I forgot. But thank you. This was a fantastic freaking session. I had a blast. You guys are amazing.
It was a lot of fun.
Great.
We're gonna go ahead and raid one of huge supporter for the stream, How About Bilbo Man. He is playing World of Warcraft right now, so we're gonna we're gonna do that for him. But thank you everybody for dropping by. It was good to see you, and wave.
Bye.
I'm waiting for my read now. There we go.
Also, extra wave for